Hey, Ladon, how are you? I don't usually do this, so I'm taking a minute to try and figure it out. That's why I'm kind of early. But I talked to Bello. Bello said he would come and talk. I don't usually do interviews, but I figured it would be cool. How are you? This is all new. I should have got Ty involved, cause baby, I don't know how to run this. Oh shit! Doing well. You popped up on my feed. Oh, good. Well, thank you. I don't know. Waiting to see. I know it's off season. You doing fine? Thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody's saying I should be talking and doing interviews and stuff, and I'm like, I got nothing to talk about. But we gonna make it work. I do have some questions for Bello. So hopefully hopefully you guys got something to I hope I set everything up right. And you can hear me okay, right? Lord, this is something else. Wait, where you go? Oh Lord, I done lost the chat. Oh, where you go? Hold on. Into some shit. Definitely, thank you. All right, I'm back. Lord, it's gonna be a time. I'm gonna have to make this joint private afterwards. 'Cause jeez. What's the temperature like where you at? Where you at? Where you located? Temperature down here been bipolar. We had summer one day and snow the next day. It's crazy. All right, 9 o'clock. I hope I know how to let them in the group, let them in the chat. Yeah, the things I do for my group. Because I don't even know. I didn't think he was going to actually want to talk. So I didn't even prep it. It was just like, yeah, okay. Okay. My glass is giving a glare. Brooklyn is 39 right now. It was 80 on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. And you see how that fake snow didn't melt? Cause I was outside. I'm like, damn, it's like 80 degrees. Well, it was 77 when I looked. And the snow wasn't even melting. I'm like, this not the same snow we grew up with. This some bullshit. This that GMO stuff. Let me see if I change my lighting if it'll look better. Maybe that's a little better. A little softer. I don't know. 902, where is he at? Maybe don't put my hair on. Shoot. I was supposed to go out, change my mind. I'm a straight introvert. Like I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going there. I ain't going nowhere. I wanted to go to Boston to see Red. I ain't moved. Then he was like, "Come on, we gonna talk." Okay, fine, let's talk. Where he at? 902 Bello. So how you been enjoying Ready to Love? Did you go into any of the new other groups? I started this new group, um, Age of Attraction. It's kind of weird, but it's my thing, you know. Like I don't really believe in like age group all like that. Like I don't have a problem with dating young, but marry old. That's how I do it. I don't got a problem with that. Date young, marry old. But yeah, it's a cute little show. I don't know. It's a more diverse crowd. They had one dude on there, he was 60. He didn't really look 60 though. He actually looked good for his age. Cause I'm not really attracted to older guys, but he was cute. Until you got to like really see him. Like when they were talking and stuff, then you can kind of see his age. Like you could see it in his hands and stuff. But when he was walking and all that, baby, I'm like, okay, Papa. The new Netflix show, yeah. It comes on. It started Wednesday, the 11th. So, you know, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find Bello. Nothing. But yeah, I created a group for it. And then I watched some crazy show called Blue Therapy. I ain't gonna lie. It don't deserve a group, but it's gonna make me spaz out. Like I'm gonna create some post about it because we really did not need blue therapy. It was interesting. All black couples from London. It was very interesting, but I don't think we needed it. I don't think we needed it at all. But if you don't got nothing to do, check it out. Alrighty. I guess I kind of felt like this was going to happen. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back. Let me see. Age of attraction is different. People dating from like 22 to I think the oldest person was 60. Yeah, I think it was the guy. His name is Jorge. I don't know if that's real, but his name is Jorge. Black guy named Jorge. So I don't know. But yeah, it was definitely interesting. Yeah, you could check it out. The group. You know what? Guess what? Lord, his timeline and my time is totally different. I forgot Detroit is an hour behind us, right? Lord, I completely forgot. I'm just remembering. This is why I don't do this shit. You gotta be interested. Let me see if he available. Or ain't this some shit? That'd be 10 o'clock my time. That's kind of late. But yeah, Kimberly, how are you? Check it out. It's cool. I mean, if you don't have nothing to do, you know, it was slow, and I'm not gonna lie. It took me a minute to get through. I think it's like 5 episodes. It took me a minute to get through it. I kept starting and stopping because it kind of dragged, and it reminds you of. It's almost like Love is Blind in a sense. So basically, it's the same kind of concept. Like you meet You could talk about whatever you want, no ages. No ages and no pointers or hints about what your age is. And then after that is you go into a promise room, you promise each other. So it's almost like they took bits and pieces from different shows or something. Because I don't know about no promise room, but it reminded me of the boom boom room. So you go into the promise room, and in the promise room, you reveal. Hold on, real quick. Sorry, you reveal the ages and whatever you got to say right then and there, and then after that, you have to live together. I don't even know how long you got to live together for, but I don't think it's that long. Okay, he said he's logging on. That's perfect. Oh my goodness, thank goodness. Yeah, so you live together for a little bit, and I think you go into an apartment. So it's not like somebody comes into your home or anything like that. And then after that, you decide if you want to stay committed. So we haven't gotten that far. Right now, they have started to stay together. And the one guy, the 60-year-old, I ain't gonna lie, he made the show interesting for me. Like, kind of like eye candy and stuff. And he's off. They already messed up. They already went off. And I was upset. But that might have been like episode 4 or 5 or whatever. But it's like, damn, now I gotta watch it the rest of the time and just watch it. But it's interesting. But it kind of went like how I thought. I guess where people got to the point where you accept the ages and stuff. Some 20-year-olds, they were really. I don't think it was cool for them to be on there. I think that was a little too young. Like even when I date, I can go 10 years younger, but I ain't going 20 years younger. Like, come on, you know. But then they had the Cougars on there. I don't want to give away the show, so y'all can watch it, and come talk to me about it. Let's see. I can't believe I completely forgot about the time difference. But he said he's logging on, so let's see. So if you're 20 something and connect with someone 60 something, you got to go live with them. Yes, you live with them. You pack your stuff, go into this place, and it's kind of unusual. But I mean, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna lie. When I did my show, I got bit by the show bug. You know what I'm saying? So I would go on the show. I would definitely go on it. But it's weird. But I would do it. Just like I already ended up living in the house with all these strangers. Definitely way too young. Yeah, there were some young ones, but I mean, they act like they were with it. It's regular relationship stuff, but it's just kind of sped up. It's like while you're supposed to be in your honeymoon phase, you getting irritated because somebody's in your space. And I do think that's kind of too soon. But for a show, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, all right, I don't know what's up with him. He's typing, but it was okay. I think that, to be honest with you, I'm kind of like, what's the word? I'm kind of, I don't even know if it's a word. Like I'm up to here with relationship stuff. Like I'm fed up with the shit. So I really do hope after all of this, I could still have a break before Ready to Love starts, so I could be refreshed in a new mindset, because it's just like I'm just watching everybody like, and when you watch from the outside, and I hope I'm not boring y'all, but when you watch from the outside, it's like you could see the faults. You could see the things that's wrong. You could see certain things, and it's kind of like, you know, damn, why you gotta be like, because I'm gonna give you one little thing. So the 60-year-old, his girl was like 26 or 27. It was a 33-year age gap, but sis was feeling him. Like she was feeling him. She seemed horny. You know what I mean? She was lusting after dude. And he gave that grown man, that sexy grown man thing, right? And then she told him she was celibate. And he was like, okay, he'll deal with it. But then when they get into the room the first night, she jumped in his bones. And they said they didn't have sex, but she dry humping and gyrating and things of that nature. And it's just like, ma'am, like this a whole grown man. Like you gotta have some understanding. Okay, here we go. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm excellent.
I completely forgot what I'm on here talking to myself and to the people in the chat. I completely forgot that you were an hour behind us.
Oh, I'm an hour behind you guys.
Yeah, because it's 8 over there, right?
No, it's 9:13.
Oh, okay. All right, so then you was just late.
Yeah, I'm 15 minutes late. Yeah.
All right, I'm beating myself up because I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about it.
Sorry, say it again.
I said I thought I was beating myself up because I'm like, I didn't even think about the time difference.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't think about that either.
Okay. All right, so I mean, it's good to see you. I have we haven't spoken. I've talked to a lot of people. I've met some of the people. I went over to a watch party where I met a few of them over there.
Okay.
But I have not had any contact with.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and I try not to reach out. If people reach out to me, I talk. But I try not to reach out because I don't want to feel like invasion of privacy, or I don't want people to misconstrue me talking to you as in I'm gonna be on your side, and then I go in a group and I might say something that I don't like.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
I get
yeah. So I try, but I am a friend. But I'm still gonna get into you, and I'm gonna tell you something.
what's
I
up.
don't interview. I talk. We having conversation.
Okay.
So all your defenses and all of that, your time is up. No need to, you know, so you can relax with me.
Okay. Okay.
All
I'm good.
right?
I'm at my house. I got some renovations going on downstairs, so you might hear a little bit of knocking. I apologize about that. I'm in a place that, I'm on the upper floor, but in a room that I'm renovating. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you might hear a couple knocks, like bam, bam, bam. It's just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am gonna get some questions out of the way that were in the group, right?
Okay.
So one question: what came first, the wedding or the reunion?
Wedding.
Wedding. Okay.
Well, it's kind of like an engagement. It's called an nikah. We haven't done the white wedding yet.
Oh, so you do a white wedding, like
Yeah.
how we do it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that was
Okay.
the nikah. It's a religious. It's a religious marriage where the two families are connecting, but in Western culture, we look at it like an engagement,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So what do you call her? Your fiance or your wife?
There's not in Islam. There's no fiance, so I say wife. But in Western culture, she'd be like my fiance.
Oh, okay. So that was an Islamic thing. It wasn't an African Nigerian thing.
No, no, no. It was an Islamic nikah. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. That's why I
So
don't have a ring. That's why I don't got a ring yet. I haven't done the white wedding yet.
okay. So even with the money throwing and stuff like that, because I did see, one thing about me, I am very transparent. I'm very honest. Somebody sent it to me.
Mm.
Somebody sent it to me, and when they sent it to me, at first when I saw it, I did add it to the group because we've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes we have people who are in situations while they're recording and things of that nature. So when I first saw it, I thought you were married and then did the show.
No, 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 no.
Right. So the more I researched, I realized I'm like, oh no, this is after recording. And I took it down. So some people got to see it, some people didn't. And then I did end up adding the pictures to YouTube or whatever because, we got our own little drama behind the scenes, the people who report Ready to Love and things of that nature, kind of like a who busted first or who did it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Right. So I did see it. So the money throwing is a part of Islamic thing. That's not an African
That's
thing.
Nigerian. That's an African thing. That's a Nigerian thing.
Oh, so you just merged everything together then?
Yeah, yeah, we did it all. We did. We had some traditional Nigerian aspects to it, and we had the Islamic portion. I don't. I I'm all of those cultures, right? I'm Nigerian. I'm Muslim. I'm Canadian, right? Like I'm all those things, right? So you can't. It's like saying that you're gonna have a wedding and you're Caribbean, and no, I'm not Caribbean. I'm not gonna have Caribbean food at a white wedding, right? A white wedding is an English thing, right? But
Right.
right, you're gonna say, yo, I'm having a white wedding, so there's not gonna be any curry chicken, there's not gonna be any any
It's curry
any
goat
rice.
actually.
Curry goat, no
It's
curry
curry
goat, no
goat.
rice, none of them. So you're gonna say you can't say that.
Right.
You can't
Okay.
separate those things. Are you Caribbean? I don't really
I'm
know.
Jamaican.
You're
Hmm.
Jamaican.
Hmm.
Okay, what parish?
Kingston, Rockford.
Okay.
You know Jamaica?
Yeah, man. I've been to Ochi. I've been to Ocherias. I've been to town. I've been to Kingston, St. Anne's, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You put me off guard when you said parish. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I've been to Dunsriver Falls. I've done it all. I went to Moon Palace. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I did notice that you said your favorite food was Jamaican food.
Oxtail, rice and peas.
Right. So
Yeah.
how you end up eating those pink oxtail?
Pink oxtail.
Those oxtail look pink on camera.
You know why the oxtail look pink on camera?
Why?
Is because long story short, she didn't brown the
Bro.
oxtail. She didn't brown it. She didn't use no oxtail seasoning. She just salt and pepper. This boil and salt and pepper. So for me, you being Jamaican, and keep in mind, we had oxtail with white rice. I was like, okay, all right, this is not what I'm used to, but you know what? I like the effort. Um, I like the effort, and I like the fact that she was trying, and it was her first time, right? But I had oxtail that was seasoned with pepper and salt, like a steak.
So what did it taste like?
You know what? It's the first time I had an oxtail like that. It's funny you say that. You could see that the oxtail was red. It was pink.
Oh, trust me, I'm all up in it. I'm like, that's some pink oxtail. I don't know where that. But you know what? I do appreciate her effort. Like I ain't gonna lie, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. But she should have got on YouTube at least.
Yeah, on YouTube, yeah, to figure out how to make an oxtail, yeah, for sure. And
Mm,
that's the thing. Like one of the things that I've resolved to do was I'm like, I'm not gonna get into anybody. Like I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna try not to be negative. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not. I don't want to say anything negative. I just want to keep it positive, positive vibes. So when people said, "Oh, she made oxtail," I'm like, "Yeah, she made oxtail." You
yeah.
know,
Did you eat it though?
I ate it. I ate it. I ate it. I ate it. It was oxtail cooked in broth, right? Like it was just.
Was it tender at least?
It was very tender. It was
Okay.
very tender.
Okay. All right.
It was
Okay.
very tender. It was very tender. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still appreciate her trying, so that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. But I knew it. I was like, wait a minute, somebody lying because if he say he like Jamaican oxtail and the oxtail is pink, something, you
Something
know.
right. Something not right. Yeah. It didn't. Yeah. It didn't hit.
Right.
You know what hit? The fact that she was catering to me. That hit. The food didn't,
Definitely.
but the gesture hit.
Right. Definitely. 100%. I appreciate that. Because you know what? To be honest with you, it's like, I think I think the group looks at the show a little differently, right? Because when we first started, everybody was so gung ho. We like, yeah, a dating show, or whatever. And then we found out about editing. Like I never used to watch reality TV. I still don't really watch reality TV, you know, but I watch that. I have certain shows that I will watch. But Love and Hip Hop, all of that stuff, I don't watch any of that stuff.
Mm.
So I think what happened is that we watch it and then we have the cast members that's in the group and then they telling us stuff, behind the scenes stuff, things like that. So we kind of realize that the show is kind of fake, right? Where it's like they pick who they want to pick. Some of the couples complain like, oh, I really wanted to go out with this person. And they wouldn't let me go out with that person. So we see all the behind the scenes stuff. So when we watching, it's like we watching it, yeah, entertainment, yeah, but we still watching for the mistakes. Like, so that's how we kind of pick things apart.
You know what? You know what? You can't make everybody happy. Like I'll say this, like when I spoke to Darius, Darius is like, yo, I wanted to go on a date with this person. I couldn't do that. Or, I barely even got to go on this date or whatever. So, and there's a lot of group dates, not a lot of one-on-one, right? And I had a completely different experience. Like I feel like I got to do all the dates I wanted to do, and I was able to connect with the people I wanted to connect with. Um,
Right.
so, it really depends on how vocal you are with production, and not only how vocal you are with production, but also it also has a lot to do with
The
like
role they put you in, they put
uh,
you, they characterize.
I don't know about the role, but I think it has to do also with the chemistry between you and that person, right? Like, I'll give an example. Like Diamond, she was in the first episode or first two episodes or whatever. I didn't really connect with her at all, right? I didn't talk about her. There was nothing, like nothing at all. So they're not gonna try and build a narrative between two people who are not clicking, right?
Yeah, but they still had their picks. And you don't gotta admit to it because I don't know what your contract looking like, but they got their picks. They got people who get voted off the first episode and they keep them to the end because they make for good TV and things of that nature. So we know that, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But they do, and they have their favorites. Like if they want to paint a character, like I think they did a character with what's his name, Darius. Because I have talked to him, and he was like, "Well, I used to bring the ladies roses, and I used to give out gifts and stuff like that." And they didn't show any of that, because I guess they wanted to create that playboy image that he got, that pimp type image.
You know what? He did get flowers for all the ladies. He,
hmm
he did do that.
Yeah. So yeah, and he's not the only one. There's other seasons, things that I hear at the end, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
So I do. All right. So this was my part in what I said in the group, right? What I didn't understand, because from my understanding, I know Nigerian men to be very strong,
Mhm.
right? Strong, dominant, and they always rep who they are. How did you not end up doing that?
What do you mean?
I feel like you didn't lead with that. Like it wasn't like I'm Nigerian. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm African. Like, you think
Really?
you think you did?
I feel like I did. I had a date with Lauren, and I was wearing full Nigerian garb. The reunion, I wore full Nigerian garb,
Yeah,
right?
it came out. It,
In the
sorry.
first, yeah, sorry, in the first episode, I also said I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian Canadian. So I said it like from the very beginning.
Okay, maybe I didn't catch it because I was saying it did come out later on, but in the beginning it was like, wait, there's no representation. But I guess also too, being Jamaican, we gonna show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you gonna know as soon as we enter the room. You know what I mean? So I felt like I learned about you being Nigerian late, and I learned about your Muslim background late.
You know what? I feel like it has a lot to do with the culture in Detroit, right? A lot of people are like five, six, seven generation Black Canadians, and they don't have a back. They don't have an ethnic Caribbean or Afrocentric culture, right? So
Okay.
those conversations don't really come up as much because they're just like, like I actually had that conversation with Dom. I was like, "Yo, where are you from?" She's like, "I'm black." I'm like, "Okay, well, where's your like, where's your origin?" She's like, "I'm blackity black black." I'm like, "Okay, so you don't know where?" She's like, "No, I don't know where I'm from." And then a lot of people I was speaking to don't have that. So, like, if you're from LA, if you're from Toronto, if you're from New York, there's a lot of first and second generation Caribbeans or or Afro Americans, right? But in Detroit, you got to remember, Underground Railroad happened in Detroit, between Detroit and Windsor. So a
Right.
lot of people are like five, six, seven, eight generation um, Black Americans.
Okay.
Like, for example, Cardi's one of those. Like, in Windsor, there's a family, a Harris family, and they have a Harris family reunion, blah blah blah. There's like, I don't know, like hundreds of them, right? Sorry, there's like hundreds of families that are all
Mm.
Harris, all related, and on both sides of the border, and,
Mm.
and he's one of them, right? And the funny thing is, he's like seventh generation Black Canadian.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's crazy. So, like, for me, being from Toronto, everybody, their parents just got here, right? Or at like the most, it's like, okay, my parents got here, um, or my parents' came from this country, so it's easy to track, and people rep where they're from because it's recent,
Right.
right? But when when you've been Black Canadian for seven generations, where are you repping, right? So that
Okay.
conversation just didn't come up. So
Right. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I can understand that. So give me a little taste of Black Canadian culture because I'm not familiar with that at all.
Okay, so I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that there's a huge undertone of Caribbean in the like the Black Toronto culture. Toronto, because there's a huge Caribbean culture in Toronto. A lot of people use patois in their regular day, right? Like their regular day. If you grew up in the city, you can speak or understand a little bit of patois. It's kind of like, I would say it's like growing up in Miami and speaking a little bit of Spanish. Like, everybody speaks a little bit of Spanish because that's like a heavily um, Spanish influence, right? So it's the same thing in Toronto where I grew up. There's a huge undertone of Caribbean. Like, some people think that I'm Jamaican or I'm Caribbean before they think that I'm Nigerian.
Right.
So I have
Oh,
to, I
okay.
have to separate and say, hey, no, 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 I'm Nigerian, but I'm like, I rep Caribbean culture too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There was a part in this show that I saw because I'm not. Did they make you guys come in and do like I don't know what you would call it, like a retape or a re-edit? Because it's like sometimes you see the confessionals, the clothes are different and things of that nature. What was up with that? They brought you back in for that too?
No, you know what? The confessionals they're not the same day. They're often shot a different day. So, like, let's say, for example, right now we go on a date with let's say I go on a date at 6 o'clock. I'm doing the confessional the following morning or 2, 3 days later. The
Right,
confession,
but
yes.
no, they really did some people's stuff different. Like you could really see the difference. It's been some time now, but it was like you could see like weight change, you could see hair, you could see. Oh yeah, come on, you watched it. Cut
No,
it out.
I
They
didn't
didn't they didn't call everybody back, but they called some of them back. Like I think they called back. If I'm
really.
not mistaken, yeah, I think they did Ashley as a retake. I think they did. I
Hmm.
think maybe Donna or Lauren. Yeah, there was some other ones that they brought back in and did them over different. And I had asked there. He said no, they didn't call him back in.
Yeah, that didn't happen with me. I didn't have that. I just,
Okay.
like, a lot of times, like, they'll make sure that while you're doing your take, they'll ask you, hey, they'll ask you a couple questions, and then they'll ask you to redo the question same day. But
Okay.
I don't know anybody who did a retake like after the end of the season. I don't know about that.
Okay.
But there's definitely some weight. There's some depth. I'm not calling out nobody, but there's definitely some weight gain the uh between the show and the reunion, for sure. for sure.
Got
For
you.
sure. But you got to
Oh,
remember, the
yeah.
reunion was several months later. So like
Well, I,
we finished shooting the show like the first week of October, right? Sorry,
right.
sorry, the first week of November, we finished shooting the show like the third or I think was the last day. And then it was the end of it was either the I remember we shot on the 23rd of October. I think we shot on the 3rd of November. So it was like that week. And then we did our reunion in March, right?
Well, yeah, I'm familiar with that. Like, that time difference and stuff. I was on a show too. I
Yeah.
was on a sister show for yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
saw that.
think
I saw you were on a show. I didn't know which I thought it was Ready to Love. What show was it?
it was a show called Never Ever Met. Ours is a little different. We had to go and stay at a mansion for 3 weeks
Okay.
with our person, you know. So I just wanted to get the experience though, because what happened was I was running a group and I would be helping the cast members and stuff, but I'm helping them off of my own understanding, like marketing. I did some radio, things of that nature, and just what I know, psychology. I got a background in psychology too, so I would help with that, but I didn't know TV. So they're like, "You don't understand the editing, and you don't understand this, and you don't understand this." I'm like, "You know what? All right, let me, So I did apply for Ready to Love Philly, which I don't date in Philly, so I didn't really want to do Philly, but I guess you have to, line up to where you got to be
Philly
at or
just
whatever.
but
Huh?
Philly just happened.
Yeah, I applied before that. So what happened with Philly, it just happened, right? So what happened was I had applied to Philly. I didn't hear anything from Philly, but I also think that they might know me from the group because I didn't hear nothing. I ain't even hear like Dream On Sister. Like I ain't hear nothing, right? But they were looking for people. So anyway, so then I didn't get through with that. So then somebody gave me the Never Ever Mets and I applied to that and I got that. And
Oh,
then what happened was they played a little bit of Philly and then they broke it. They took a break and then they put Never Ever Mets in the break and
oh,
then went back to Ready to Love Philly.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Good.
I'm on season 2.
Okay. I've never heard I just assumed that you were part of you were in a previous season of Ready to Love.
No, I think if my name is mentioned, it's because of the group,
Okay. Okay.
you know, but that's about it. And, just talking to people and who don't like me, and who like me.
Well, where are you from though? Where are you from though? Because you don't sound like you're from Philly.
I told you I'm Jamaican.
No, I know, but I'm saying, do you live in
Oh,
Philly or you live in like which area?
well, yeah, I stay in Philly. I travel a lot, but I stay in Philly.
Okay.
hmm you know. So I move around, but I guess you can hear some New York. I spent
I
some
can
time
hear
with
New
them
York.
too.
I hear New York in your voice. That's why
Yeah,
like, when you're like Philly, I'm like, you sound like from New York. Because
right,
New York, I feel, is very much like Toronto. Like Toronto's like is like the little brother of New York. It's
right. Okay,
very similar. Very
okay,
similar. So that's why,
okay.
like, so like you have a familiar sound to me.
Okay, yeah, yeah. A lot of people say like, "You sure you're not from New York? You sound like you're from New York." But I think what happened is that my dialect was watered down so much that I combine both things, so I sound like I'm speaking English, but I phrase it like it's patois, and then it just New York.
Okay. Okay. But can you speak Spanish as well? Oh, okay.
No, I didn't have a reason to learn, so
Okay.
But a lot of people think I do. They think I'm Spanish.
Yeah.
hmm
Like my second guess, if not Jamaican, I would have thought you were like Puerto Rican or something or Dominican.
Yeah, yeah. When they see me, they start talking. I'm like, it is funny because people be like, because I go to Mexico by myself. I travel a lot by myself. So I go to Mexico, and people are like, they don't bother you in Mexico, and I'm like, no. And I'm thinking that they probably think I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but okay. So let me think. What else? All right. And I don't get me politically correct. I would rather you not answer me than lie to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you have really? really had wife, what's her name, Dom?
Would have really have wife Dom?
Yeah, you would have really gotten serious and married to Dom.
No. You know what? This is the thing. You don't know about somebody until things uncover and unfold. And based on what I learned about her, it didn't click. It didn't click.
But even before that, right? You didn't like even in her clothes and things that like that. That would have been something that would have been acceptable for your culture and your religion.
Um, you know, she didn't wear anything. She didn't wear anything that was I think the I choose you outfit that was very revealing. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like that outfit was very revealing, but she didn't wear anything. She wore a lot of leggings, skirts, big boots. She wore
She
like a
wore it was a see-through dress that had a bunch of hands on it. That was the first one from when I think when Darius and Vince got into an
yeah,
argument.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that one. I remember that one.
Because
Yeah,
I'm looking and I'm like, I think, from I don't know 100% about Muslim, but I'm almost sure that modesty is one of the things. And I'm
yeah,
like,
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But again, you got to remember that by the time that outfit came out, that was like the seventh or eighth episode,
oh,
right?
so everything else you think was good up until that.
Yeah, like remember the first episode, if I remember correctly, she was wearing that green teal, and it was a full body up to her, like it was a full body up to her mid thigh. Everything she wore was conservative until later on, right? And you
Okay.
got you got to remember, like you you don't really know somebody until like it's like an onion. You unpeel layers of the onion, right? So I wouldn't say like I know that when I first met with Dom, I was like, I was attracted to her and I felt like, okay, she's cool, but I wanted to get to know more about her and know what the situation was. Like I didn't there's a lot of things that I get to learn later on that, you watching the show, you may think like, yo, he already knew that, but it's like, no, I didn't know that until several shows later, right?
Right. Okay. And I'm
Several
gonna tell you, I didn't watch any of your interviews either. Like the recaps, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the interview. I don't get down like that. I'm not, I hate to say it. I like the show and everything, but I'm not that invested.
Mm.
So if I'm repeating anything, excuse me, but I haven't watched your stuff. There's some things like, say you might be on and somebody might send it to me like, did you see this or whatever? And I look and I'm like, and I really do think that Detroit does very well with protecting each other.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The little bit of stuff that I saw, like, okay, well, let me rephrase it. Prior to the reunion, prior to the reunion, the things that I saw, because they were doing the recaps, and I would like log in or whatever, somebody might send it to me, and I'm looking, and it's like, oh, we're all so great and we're all so nice, and I'm like, so I do know later on that you had got in a tussle, I guess, a little bit with Dominique. But what I don't understand, right, is that by the time the reunion come, did she know about the engagement?
No.
Because she said you blocked somebody or whatever.
Yeah, all of that was like, basically okay, so did she know about? No, she didn't. By the reunion, she didn't.
Okay.
And the craziest thing, and this is part of one of the things with Dom is like, um, she during the reunion, she was all nervous because keep in mind, like I broke it off around Christmas Eve, right? Like around that time. And then we didn't she's prideful, whatever, and we didn't talk. So this is like a year later, we hadn't had any communication, nothing. And then she hit me up one time, like when we found out that the show was going to air, she hit me up. She's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you, chop it up for a minute." So we talked a little bit, and then we decided that everybody was going to do the what's called the premiere. So we decided to do the premiere. So like first time I saw her was like first time I first time I saw her was like a year later at the premiere, and then we're having all these interviews and stuff. So like a lot of whatever, I feel like whatever she was feeling or whatever she didn't have closure with, a lot of that stuff resurfaced, and it felt like it just happened. But for me, I done moved on. I'm already I've already I'm already engaged. I've already found my person. I've already done all that. So when she's coming at me with that energy, I was like, what? And then the same thing with the reunion. At the reunion, she didn't, none of those details were discussed, right? And we're not supposed to, right? During the show, you're not supposed to talk about your relationship status, and you're not supposed to do anything until the show has aired.
Right.
So, so a lot of that stuff I didn't talk about until the full show was done.
Okay. Because I was kind of confused because it was like she was arguing with you at the reunion, but then you had your hand around her, and then I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what's happening?
That is what I'm saying. And at the reunion, that's the craziest part. Is she came to me, she's like, "Hey, Bello," she's like, "You know what? Like, I'm really nervous and like whatever." And I was like, "Yo, don't worry, it's all good. Like, let's just get through this. Like, this is the last episode, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Promise you're not gonna say anything negative about me." I'm like, "Yeah, I got you. I don't got nothing to say. Like, it didn't work out, and that's all it is. Boom." And then I'm like, so I was focused on, there's a lot of stuff that I could say, but I was just like, yo, you know what? It didn't work out. We're not aligned. I focused more on alignment and the fact that, and people took that and ran with that however they wanted to run with that. But I didn't want to say, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. So I just, and I kept it very gentlemanly and very respectful. But then when she started coming at me about all this stuff, I was caught off guard because I was like, hold up. I was just like holding your hand, consoling you, making you feel at ease. And then I didn't say nothing negative about you. And then boom, you just hit me with all this energy. I was like, wow, this
That's
is
what I thought. I was confused. I'm like,
I was confused too, man. I was confused too. And the craziest part about it is there was a lot of like, she lied about a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, and there's things, yeah. She lied about a lot of stuff. And she framed things in such a crazy way. It's like, for example, she's like, "You asked my brother for this and that." And I'm like, "Look, I don't know your brother from nowhere. I don't know who he is. I met the guy once. You told me that he has investors in Canada who are investing in real estate and in pharmaceuticals and medical stuff in Canada." I'm like, okay. I at the time I was building a subdivision. I was building 33 detached homes and I was building 55 condo units. So I was looking for a construction loan. I was already during the construction. So I already had, I was doing the servicing, not construct, the servicing. So we were putting in the roads, putting in the gas lines, the water lines, the conduits, the street lights. Like we were doing that. But all of that is self-funded. You can't, like, banks don't give you money for servicing. So the city kind of messed me up because what happened was the city's like, okay, before you do the construction, we want 65% of the total construction in our hand. And the total servicing was 2.7 mil. So I gave the city 1.5 mil in their hand. Boom. So then I'm like, okay, cool. Now I give the contractor a deposit. He starts his work. And then now we're getting like almost at the end of the servicing. And I say to the city, okay, can you release some of the money to the contractor? They said, no, we keep it. We keep it. And we wait a year after the roads are complete to make sure that there's no cracks or leaks or anything. We keep it and then we give you half your money. I'm like, so where am I going to come up with the rest? So
Yeah.
that was one of the things because like I was self-funded. I did it all myself. So now I'm in a situation where I'm mid construction. I gave money to the city. They won't let me use it. I paid the deposit. I had enough money for the budget, but now I had to come up with another 1.6. And I was like, the value was in the property, and then I needed a construction loan. So I'm like, okay, if I get a construction loan, the construction loan can pay for the servicing and all my debts right now, and I could finish the project. So her bro was supposed to introduce me to an investor. He wasn't supposed to invest. He just was supposed to
Mm,
introduce me to somebody who was already investing in Toronto. And then she didn't even do nothing. She's like,
yeah.
yo, I got you, boo. I did all this stuff. And crickets, nothing. So it's like, yo, if I got millions of dollars on the line and we're trying to do couples goals, we're trying to build, and all you got to do is make an introduction. It's not money out your pocket, it's not money out your brother's pocket. Why isn't anything moving? Right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, a lot of talk, but nothing was coming. And there was a lot of other stuff that, she even said that, oh, I want to get into real estate. And I was like, okay, whatever, I got you. I'm like, you got a lot of followers. You know a lot of people in Detroit. It's gonna be easy. I'll help you to get your real estate license. Boom. I gave her money for her real estate license. And she ended up spending on rent. And I was like, okay. And then later on, she comes back like a month later, and she's like, guess what? I'm like, what's up? She's like, I'm gonna get my real estate license. I'm gonna pay for it myself. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I already gave you for the first exam. And I'm like, well, okay, well, why don't you promote that you're getting into this, and then I'll give you referrals and we'll do deals together. She's like, nah, baby. I'm gonna wait until I have my own license. I'm gonna do it under my own name. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so you wanna compete with me?
So at that time, you guys were still involved?
We're still involved at that time. So,
Okay.
so that was one of those things. I'm like, I don't really like this. Like, like I'm talking to a woman, and then she says she wants to do something and build with me, and then now she's trying to compete with me. I'm like, okay, that's
Right.
weird. And then at the same time, she says she has a connect, and and then nothing materializes from the connect. I wasn't looking for that, right? She didn't have to say I know someone. I
Right.
right? I just shared with her what I was going through, and then she said she had a solution, and nothing came from her. I'm like, okay, it's all good, right? And then for her to come and say, "Oh, your finances are not in order," I'm like, come on, man. If I'm building 33 detached homes, I own the land myself, and I'm building 55 condo units. I came into a situation that I didn't anticipate, but now for you to start talking about like my finances never had any issue in our relationship. We go out, I take care of the bill. We do something, I take care of. Anything we did, I took care of. So, and she never asked me for something that I was like, no, I can't do that. Because it wasn't that deep. Like we didn't talk that long.
Right.
Two months into talking to somebody, what am I, you know?
So why and yeah, I understand how you feel about that. And to me, what that kind of sounds like to me when somebody switches up like that, it kind of sounds like somebody like, well, why you helping him build his thing? Why you not building your own? Why don't you get it all on yourself? Things of that. How sometimes
Yeah,
outsiders can come in and say certain things. People who are have problem trusting and things of that nature. So even if you didn't work out romantically, it could have still been a business, and you could have still gave her a start, and she could have still built her own name and built together.
100%.
So I
That's
definitely
the thing. Like, and the thing is, like, my remember, I've been in real estate for like 13 years in Toronto and Windsor. So I built my name. For me to get to a point where I'm developing and building communities, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but I'm doing all right. So for me for me to branch from Canada to the US and expand in Michigan, I don't have as developed of a brand and as developed of a system as I do in Toronto and Windsor. So I was building that during the show, you know.
Right.
So when she's like, "Hey, I want to jump on," I was like, "Okay, great. You know more people than I do. Wherever you grow up, you know people, right? Wherever you grow up, you establish connections. When you're literally a foreigner starting a business from scratch, in a new country, it's going to be
Difficult.
there's a curve. There's going to be a learning curve. Not only is there going to be a learning curve, but there's also going to be it's going to take time to get that traction, right? So, like, I don't know, the way that she came at me, I was just the thing that I was frustrated about was I don't care if you say my breast stank, okay. If you want to say that I did this or I was a bad guy, it's all good. But don't attack my business. That's my livelihood, right? And I didn't do anything to warrant that. And what she was saying was a lie. Like it's like, how could I how could I how could I build a community and not pay for and not be able to afford a meal? Like
Listen, what I'm trying to figure out is why you were taking the daughters out.
and that's another thing. It's like that's another thing. It's like
Now, let me hear it. I want to know because I could see one time the meet and greet the one time, but the way that it was brought up was like y'all going out a couple of times during the month with everybody.
no,
Why?
no. Me and Dom were going out like 3 days a week. We were going out every week. We were going out. Me and Dom. But me, Dom, and her daughters weren't going out like that. No.
Oh, okay.
I had gone out with her daughters. Um, I had gone out with her daughters on more than one occasion, but not. It wasn't like every week situation. No, one of her daughter. You know what it was? One of her daughters lives with her. Her other daughter lives with the boyfriend, and the other daughter lives out. I can't remember in another state. So that the one daughter who was out of state, she came into town, and I had already met her family. Like we did Thanksgiving together, American Thanksgiving. We did that together. Um, we did Halloween together, right? Um, so, and I met her daughters at that time, and her one daughter from out of town came up, and they're like, "Yo, like, um, let's go do something." And I said, "Okay, cool, let's go do something," because we had already done the Thanksgiving, so I already am acquainted with all of them, right? So
Right.
they just said, "Let's go for dinner." And I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." Right? It's not like a regular like what? Why am I bringing her and all her daughters on a regular basis?
That's what I thought. So that's okay. I'm glad you clarified that because I'm like I don't understand. Like so to me that kind of seemed kind of gold diggerish and stuff like that. Where it's like you turn around and you bring in a bunch of people to a dinner every time you go out. That was weird to me.
No, it wasn't that
So
time. No.
okay,
And that's the
okay,
other thing. It's like, yeah, if you watch some of the reviews and the recaps, it's just certain things. Like it's so funny because sometimes when you make a decision and you're like, did I make the right decision? Or man, and you're thinking about it, and then somebody does something and then they reaffirm your decision, you're like, oh yeah, that's why I ain't in this. I had so many of those moments, and I'm just snickering, just quietly, just like, okay, all right, you're showing your colors. I saw a hint of it. Now I saw, there was a little splatter here and there, a yeah, a little splatter here and there. Now you just glob that brush, and I see you, I see you. So it is what it is. Like even just like a small example, she works at the mall.
I
Okay,
heard that. I did
she,
hear that.
she works at the mall in retail at a clothing store. Okay, I don't know how somebody who she was telling people that, oh, $600 for dinner ain't nothing. There was like four adults there, and da 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 da. And she's like this and that. Me and my brother, Bello and my brother went for dinner, and we dropped 5 racks. And I'm just, for me, I'm very big on community building. I'm very big on generational wealth. I'm very big on um, empowerment through real estate. I don't see somebody working at the mall paying $5,000 dinners on a regular basis. I don't see that. I never saw that from her, right? So when she's like, I do that, I live that, I'm just like, why? Like, why are you promoting somebody else's lifestyle? You're always living off other people's lifestyle. I'm like,
Right.
it's tacky, you know? And the other thing for me is like, I don't know, but for me, I don't see any reason to drop like if to drop 5 racks on a dinner when I could put that in some real estate. You know what's going on in Detroit right now? You could buy a property from the land bank for like 1 or 2 or 3 grand, right?
Listen, I said that same thing too. I'm like, you stupid. I'm like, you sitting here racking up meals and stuff when you should have been like, get me a building. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And that's what I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm actually investing in Detroit. I'm buying I'm right now I'm investing in Detroit and I'm buying some multifamily properties, renovating them, and we're creating basically like a transitional home. So it's like people who are on Section 8, we help them with financial literacy. We um, we get them into a place and then we help to graduate them to buy a property. And it's so easy in Detroit. If you buy a property from the land bank right now, the bids are starting at $1,000.
Right.
There's very few properties I've seen have sold for more than 15 racks. So imagine you're buying a house and it's like you own it
Yeah.
for under 15 racks. And then on top of that, when you buy a house in Detroit, they have this thing going on where it's called neighborhood lot, where you could buy the property next door, like a vacant piece of land, for
Mhm.
$100.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying? And then now, let's say, for example, your house, you couldn't put a pool in your house. Now you buy the neighbors, you buy the neighboring lot. Now you can put a pool. If you wanted to
Cool.
put additional dwelling unit, like there's so many plays in Detroit that, like, I don't know. When I think of black excellence, when I think of black excellence, I'm not thinking about waste.
Right.
I'm thinking about building.
Right. I
That,
think she
and
can.
that's part of, and that is part of where we don't align, right?
Right.
I'm thinking, how do I set up my next 2 generations? How do I make sure that my kids and their kids are able to work in their passion and do things that they're going to be passionate about and that they're not doing out of necessity. That's my goal, right? So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, how can I build and make it so that you know so that people like listen to this. God is my provider. I cannot help but attract a lot of money into my life because I am a lender and not a borrower. I am a money magnet, and money is always attracted to me at all times. Money is my birthright, and God is my supplier. I always have more money than I need
You
because
need to send me that.
you know what I'm saying? Because you know what? In a day, on a regular day, we hear so much negative things, right? So we have to for every one pos for okay, every one negative thing, you need 7 positive reinforcements
Mm.
to 7 positive reinforcements to overcome that. For
Yeah,
every
I
one,
agree.
7. So for me, 2 o'clock, I hear that. 10 o'clock, I hear that. When somebody calls me, I have I have a positive affirmations, right? I'm always thinking about how can I build? How can I build? How can I build? Like I do have nice things. Don't get me wrong. Like I got designer clothes. I live in a house with a waterfront. Like I have nice things, but that's not my focus. My focus is building. It's not consumer culture, right? And that's one of the small things that where we diverge, right? Like she's like spend, spend, spend. Um,
She's still to me it's like she's stuck in that basketball girls era. Like even when I watched her on the show, like she was like really nice and sweet in the beginning. And then she just kind of switched up the way she started talking to people, giving like that basketball wives energy. And I'm like, what the hell?
That's a long time ago, and that's the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, That's the
You
thing.
gotta
That time is left and gone. That lifestyle is
right,
gone. She's
right.
still clinging on to that, and still trying to find that in someone else rather than cultivating and developing herself. And that's one of the things that, like, I don't know, like, I'm a big couples goals person. I'm a big power couple person. Like, I want to build with my partner. I'm not trying to. I don't want to jump on a sled where my
You know, I don't mean to cut you. Oh, let me tell you this before I forget. Have you spoken to? I don't know if he reached out to you. Have you spoken to Nigerian Chris?
no.
It's a guy from Nigeria. His name is Chris. He is in Dallas, and I can put you guys into connection. I'm surprised he didn't reach out.
No.
He was on the Dallas season, and he does the same thing, same exact thing.
Oh, he does real.
Real estate, building the houses
Dallas
and
is where it's
stuff.
at. Dallas is where it's at. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, I think the four big markets for multifamily cash flow properties are Detroit, Atlanta, Dallas, Nevada, actually, and Arizona. Those are like those are the hot spots where you can find properties that are mad cheap. You can cash flow them. And
Arizona, what part of Arizona?
um, there's different pockets. There's different pockets. I'm not as familiar with Arizona as I am with Detroit, because that's where I'm doing my business, right?
Right,
But I look at what the median I look at what the median property value is. I look at what the rents are, and I look at, okay, how much what your debt service is going to be, and then calculate what your cash flow is. And once you figure out that, okay, this pocket, the houses are not that expensive, the debt service is low, and the rents are high, and there's a low vacancy rate for that area, you know it's a hot spot, right? If you're in New York and you're paying $3,500 a month, right, and your mortgage is your mortgage is 7 grand, you're not making nothing,
right,
right? That's not a cash flow. That's cash negative, right? So
right,
you want to get into areas that the your you're able to your rent is above your debt service, and I know that Atlanta, Detroit, Arizona, and even Vegas, Nevada, like not Vegas, but like Nevada, are areas that properties are still affordable. You could buy.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want no parts of Nevada. I drove through there one time and it was like, beware of animals. I'm like, what is animals? So we not doing that. I'm like, I'm used to like, watch out for deers. No, they like animals with an S on the end. I'm like, no, sorry. Mm-mm. And I did want to move. I wanted to move out to Scottsdale at one time, you know, but yeah. So, mm-mm. But that's all
You
that.
know,
That's,
you know what's funny? I actually I was in. I can't remember. Sorry, somebody's calling me. But yeah, I
mm,
can't remember if it was. I can't remember if it was Mexico or if it was Colombia. But I remember, you know how you see like it says that you're. It says like beware of deer crossing, like on the road.
mhm.
They had jaguars.
Oh, that must have been Colombia. But what part of Colombia? Maybe Medellin. Was that Medellin
I've
or
only
Bogota?
been to Medellin and I've been to Cartagena in Colombia, and I've been to Playa de Carmen and I've been to Cancun in Mexico. So I'm not sure. I think it was Playa del Carmen that it was beware of jaguars. I think. I can't remember, but I remember I saw it on I even took a picture of it. I was like, what?
I didn't see it in Cartagena, so yeah, that has to be somewhere where a little bit more land is out. But baby, no, we not doing that. We not doing that, Lord.
Oh
And
man.
it's funny because I did want to move out to when I wanted to move out to Scottsdale, my brother was like, "Oh, so that mean you don't mind playing with mountain lions or something like that?" He said, "I'm like skirts."
Scottsdale is nice. You know what? And it just so happens that the places with good weather have good deals, right?
Mm,
Like Arizona, ATL, all good weather, right?
yeah,
Nevada. Dallas is weather's up and down.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Chris and see, cause I'm surprised he did not reach out to you. That just blows my mind.
You know who I like. The funny thing is, I didn't even know about the show until I got on it. But
Hmm.
when I did get on the show, I started watching the first season, and somebody who inspired me was
Mm.
Mike Bless, and the reason is because he's Nigerian and he was rocking his Nigerian garb. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing that. I'm like, I'm repping. I'm gonna rep. I don't care, And I feel, eh,
Is he really Nigerian though?
ah,
I thought it was an act.
nah, he's Nigerian. He practices Ifa.
Does
He,
he?
yeah,
Okay.
and he
Okay.
he was rocking his thing. I was surprised. I was very surprised.
He did show that during the show, right? But I just thought it was, I don't know, I guess I kind of took him as they got him as an actor to come out and, you know,
But the funny thing is, if you look at his IMBD, he doesn't even show that he was on Ready to Love. Like he doesn't post it nowhere. On
right. From what I heard is that when you want to be taken seriously as an actor, you shouldn't list your reality show stuff.
Mm,
So I did hear that. So that's probably why. And it was probably long ago. He has more things to add now because he's been on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, I did hear that. So it's like, because even like when I went on a show with the guy, he was on Ready to Love too. His name was Chris, but he's from Dallas,
yeah,
and he wants to be an actor, But and that's his whole livelihood. But he said he really went on Ready to Love. I think he went on the show with me for more exposure, but he was saying that he was like, I can't keep doing reality shows because it doesn't look good for the resume and stuff like that.
uh,
So.
so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
Probably. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He
And
popped out. I thought he popped out after the show. I didn't know he popped out. He was already popping before the
no,
show.
well, I think as an actor, you start off with little things, background stuff, little, and then, so I think that he was probably doing little stuff or maybe taking classes or something. He did Ready to Love. And I think his look and stuff, and then, he just popped up everywhere. But the
Yeah,
way that he started popping up, it kind of gave like, oh, you was in it before, because own a brand new show off of own ain't busting nobody like that. So you had to have been making little baby steps prior to,
okay,
you
okay,
know. So
okay.
yeah. But that's cool. So let me ask you, I did want to ask you. So I noticed that part of the show you had hair, then one day you came and you cut off all your hair. Like what was up with that? Now the rumor has it that Lauren told you to cut it off.
No, 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 no. You know
No?
what it is? This is the thing. Okay, so for me, um, basically, I was driving to film. Like sometimes I would stay in the D, and sometimes I would stay in Windsor. So and a lot of the sets were like 40 minutes, 45 minutes out, and like we would be shooting at like, okay, we're shooting at 9, and then you're shooting at 3, and then you're shooting at 7. So I would just stay, right? So
Mm.
for me, I go to my barber every week. So now I hit up my barber. I'm like, yo, I got this show. Can I meet you before I go to set? He's like, nah, I'm not available. Or I'll be like, hey, so like there was a couple days I was having a bad hair day, and I'm like, man, and that was just, and what you'll see is that was during the cabin.
I wasn't really sure when it came in, but okay.
Yeah, it was during the cabin, and the reason is because like I wanted to go get a haircut. I know I'm gonna be in a cabin for 3 days, and I'm like, I don't want to be looking crazy. So I'm like, can I get a haircut? He's like, nah, man, I ain't got, I can't slide you in. Can you come after this? And the cabin was like 2 hours away, and we weren't allowed to leave. So I
Right.
was like, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be looking crazy. I'll just shave my head. I can line up my beard, right? So that's basically the reason. It was just one of those situations where I didn't have access to my guy. So I just said, let me just cut it off. And then, when I cut it off, everybody was like, hey, I like that. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. And
You
then
never did bald before.
no, I I've been bald. I've done bald before, and I grow my hair. I just,
Okay.
it was just, when you're on, like, you're on a show and everybody sees you one way, and then you switch it up, right? I'm not like Cardi. Cardi switched up his hair all the time. Everybody was like, that's his thing. But for me, um, I'm a very, like, I'm very stable, same way, same everything. So for me, cutting my hair was like, oh man, I don't know if they're gonna like it and they ain't gonna like it, but whatever. I don't want to look crazy. I'd rather have a bald head, clean, than not having a fade and everything looking, my line looking crazy.
Well, let me tell you, I didn't even think about it. So when I did mine, I wore this wig. It was a good wig. I think she was like $300. She looked pretty decent. you know. And we went out, and my first date was a beach. The humidity hit the hair, and it was like. So then they had a thing where they was like, you gotta wear the same hair. And I'm like, yeah, I know you like. So then I had a wig that I was like sleeping in, because they recorded us in the bedroom and stuff. So I had a wig I was sleeping in, right? But I always had to put something over it so nobody could tell it was a different wig because they both were black at the end. So, it's like I'm in this turban. So when I'm in the turban, I'm in the other wig trying to get the other wig a rest into refreshing it because it got messed up at the beat. Like, listen, I got some scenes on there, so I definitely know what you're talking about, but they would not let us switch up at all. Like, whatever you I don't know why they were like that because I saw Ready to Love is a little flexible on that, but I think it was like you gotta have the same exact thing, the jewelry, the same exact jewelry, same hair, everything gotta be absolutely the same when we do our confessionals.
Ah,
And I guess it was for editing purposes, but I mean, damn. All right, they should have put on the list: do not wear wigs. They think California, that was it. All
hey,
right,
what? See, but at least it's easy to take care of a wig. You just put it on, you just straighten it out, and you're all good. But it's hard to do your own fade, especially in the back of your head. It's like,
yeah. So let me ask you, because I see somebody had put you, they made jokes in the group and stuff, and they put you on a Beijing box.
hey, Beijing, if they want to holler at me, I'm with it. I've never used Beijing in my life, but every, like, this is my hair.
Even your beard, you don't put it down here either?
No, I don't got no Beijing. I've never used Beijing.
Okay.
The only thing I've ever used is Topic. So, like,
o-
let's say, Topic is like hair fibers. Like right now, I don't got anything in my beard. Like, look, see,
Okay.
this is my hair. There's nothing. See, I don't like. There's nothing. But yeah. So, and I do this. It's not coming off. Right. Same thing on top of my head. It's not
Right.
coming off, right. So, but the thing is so with Topic is like, let's say for example, I take down my beard a little bit, and then this is light and it doesn't connect. You just
Mm,
you spray a couple fibers just to make the line smooth, like to make it crisp, right?
right.
And then you use your straight razor and just make it all look full and thick. But that's it. But I got full head of hair here. I got full
Okay. Does the topic rub off once it go on?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you
Okay.
can put a holding spray, but if I do this, it'll come out. You'll see flakes coming off.
So they were saying that about
And it's the
about
same thing.
Darius
The
too.
same thing with the Beijing too, right? Like if you, it's not Beijing with the Topic. It's like if you put it, you can spray it to like make your line or to catch whatever. But like if you do this or if you like, it'll come off and you'll see it on your hands, right? But you can see there's no.
Right. Well, that's how they were saying that about Darius too, and I'm like, how is Bull gonna wear a white fur and have that thing in his hair? So I'm like, it can't be that. Like, it has to be something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I've never heard of Beijing until I saw myself on the box. I was like, okay, what's that? And it's I thought it was vegan. I was like, what's this vegan? They're like Beijing. I'm like, what? They're like, oh, you've been using all this Beijing. Why are you using? I don't trust nobody with J. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, I'm like,
They probably, yeah, they probably don't even have it in Canada. Certain chemicals and stuff can't be over there, so
yeah,
you probably ain't even gonna see it. That's funny.
yeah. I never even seen it. But you know what? You know what I want to see actually? I saw in the group. It was hilarious. They had like Dominique was like Catwoman, and I guess I was Batman, but they put me in the Nigerian outfit, and they had us fighting. You gotta send me that video. I saw Dom post it, and
Uh,
I didn't want to repost what she posted. Right, I wanted to find the original. I couldn't find it. That
oh,
was hilarious.
I'm gonna look. We got a guy named DeAndre in the group, and he be cutting up with these pictures. Like even he did. I don't know if you see the one with Steve, where he made Steve Albert. Was it
Yeah.
Albert? You know, like I'm like,
Oh man, no, that was hilarious. The Catwoman one, that was, and then there was like two can play that game, and there was
oh
like
yeah,
there was a bunch of those. Those were funny. I won't
yeah.
lie.
That group is something else. Have you heard anybody talk about the group?
Yeah, almost everybody in the almost everybody, all the cast, we all see a group and we all we all follow up on what's going on. Some people try and defend themselves and are very vocal in the group. You know, is
I
what
tell people it don't make sense. At the end, see, you guys did a little different. You did these recaps and stuff like that. But usually how it goes is that you do the season, you just let the season ride out, let people talk what they want, whatever, and then at the end you do the interviews and clear it all up, you know? But I don't know. Detroit was something different. Everybody was a star in Detroit. I went to the watch party. Everybody had their own paparazzi. I didn't even go to y'all party. That party
Oh,
was
you
like,
missed out. Ours was better. Ours, I don't care what anybody says. Ours was better. The
you
ambiance
think so?
was on point. The ambiance was on point. Everybody was dressed. Um, like the production was good in the sense that like we had media there. We had a red carpet. Like it was very proper. It was very proper, and it was on the main floor. It wasn't in no basement.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come for my people.
I ain't
Cause
coming for nobody. I'm
they
just saying.
they they did their party very nice. It was still nice. And
Okay,
then you know what? Even though yes, it was in a basement.
theirs ended earlier than ours too. Because I tried to pull up. I wanted to see like we were at ours, and then I was like, I was like, let me just see what this other one's about, and I pulled up and it was done.
I
And
don't know. I think you guys had like an after party too with yours, right?
I didn't
Did
go.
you?
I didn't go to the after party. No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know we were there for a little bit because what's her name came there? I think Christina came because Christina was with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then she came over. She came later, so she made it.
I missed
You
it.
know.
I pulled up and then it said, "Yeah, it's done." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, I don't know. It was cool. I mean, but you know, I don't really know Detroit, so maybe because you know the place and things of that nature. But it wasn't that bad. It was kind of cute how they had it set up, like it was you was going into like a bank vault or something like that. So you know, it was cute. I think they did okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had chandeliers. We had
You also had a cover. Like, who's paying for a watch party?
yeah, we had a cover.
Yeah, like that's a no no.
No,
That's to
no,
me.
no, 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 no. You got it wrong. So we had a cover after the watch party.
Mm-mm.
So we had so okay. So this is how it was. The watch party was from 8 to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had an actual party from 10 or 10 or 11. I think it was the
And
door at 11. So I think from 11 till 2.
and the flyer said free after party. The first one was like invite only or tickets only or
No,
pay
so
us something.
the watch party was free. The after party was what you paid for. But for me, I just looked at it as all the same thing, right? Like we were in the same venue from 8 until 2 something a.m. in the morning. So like I didn't really we and so that's how it was. The only difference was people who were sitting watching the screen, those turned into booths for bottle service. So we have bottles on the left, bottles on the right. So that was the play. I guess that's why you guys yours finished earlier, is because yours was probably just sorry, not yours, but the other watch party was probably just to watch the show and that was it. Ours was like watch the show and then turn up.
Right. Yeah, it could be. You know, but I'm not mad at it. Philly tried that nonsense too. I think when you put to me it's given. it's giving celebrity when you put a fee on your watch party. Like, come on now with the nonsense.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
come
what?
on.
I think, and you know, I was an advocate for that. I was an advocate for making the watch party free, and then having the after party. Because you got to remember, like, this was a big venue, and we ended up having over 400 people. We clocked in almost 700 people for the night.
But Darius told me that he charged for the party because it was, I think it was slash like his birthday party.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
he
talking.
charged.
But
But
that's
I'm
not.
talking about the whole thing. To come into the watch party, all of it was a fee.
Yeah, well, that I didn't charge nobody nothing, and
Okay.
the rest of the cast didn't. But
Oh, I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
So okay, so let me ask
I
some questions now.
Yeah, so that yeah, but it was a vibe. I feel like it was a vibe. We had belly dancers, we had um chandelier, we had a red carpet, we had a media section, you know. It was proper. It was very proper.
Yeah, it was cute. I mean, I guess it fits you guys. Like how you're. It's funny because everybody that moved a certain way, right, was at that party, and then everybody else was at the other party. You know what I mean? So it's funny because even though you think like, yeah, you and Dom are kind of different, but y'all still the same because y'all still end up at that party.
Uh,
So it's like, I ain't mad at it though. So
yeah.
let me ask you a question. And I thought this was a lie, but I'm going to ask you. Um, your daughter, was she really conceived by a one night stand, or was that just a story for TV?
No, it was real.
That was real.
But you know what's crazy? This is the crazy part, okay? And this is the thing that I feel like people should really think critically is why would I have okay, I had my daughter when I was 37. Okay. Hadn't had no kids, never been married, nothing. So, like, I'm not reckless. I'm not like out there just doing crazy stuff. And then I just had, like, if I was reckless, I would have had a whole bunch of kids before her, right? I wouldn't wait to 37 to have, to have that situation. But what ended up happening was, um, I went to Miami. I met a lady. We connected. We wore a condom. The condom broke. Then we did the morning after pill, and she still got pregnant. And the problem was she had a previous relationship that she was out of. But she was engaged, and they tried to have kids for like 3 years, and it didn't happen. So now
Mm,
So now she's like, yo, I tried to have kids, it didn't work. I didn't think I could have kids. Now we did the morning after pill, and this baby's still here. So she's like, I feel like this is a godsend. I'm keeping it.
she's supposed to be here, yeah.
Like that's literally what she said. So I was like, man, like this is not like I don't want to have a child out of wedlock. I've waited this long because I've been intentional with how I move. So right now, this is not how I want to have my child. But what can I do? It's her choice. So that I embraced it. This is where we're at. But
So why?
it wasn't like I was just being reckless and I was just raw dogging all over the place. I wasn't doing that.
Well, that's the thing with me. I analyze everything, right? So that's what I said. I'm like, wait, how he wait to 37 years to make a mistake? I said, no, that has to be a lie. That don't make any sense,
No.
So, okay. So why you didn't try, not to get all in your business, but you couldn't make it work with her?
Uh, there was some drama between us during and that's the thing. Like we connected, and then I left, came back to Windsor, and we didn't talk for a minute. And then when she told me that she had the baby, I mean, when she told me she was pregnant, she said, you know what? Fine, freeze my eggs. I was like, okay, bet, I'll do that. I'm like, I just want to make sure it's mine. Let me go and let me do a pregnant. Let me do a what's it called?
Amnio, the amnio.
The test. The
While she's still pregnant, right? The amnio.
yeah. So I said, let's go do that, and she refused. So I was like, yeah, and
Well,
then
it's painful.
yeah. So she said she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, how do I know it's mine? And then she's like, she's like, then she's like, look, I'll get rid of the child if you send me 30 grand. Yeah. And I was like, hold up. And she's like, that's the cost to freeze the eggs and to maintain them until I'm ready to have a child in the future. I thought about it and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. But if I'm gonna drop 30 racks, let me confirm it's mine. And then she was like, nah, we ain't doing that. I don't want you to come here. And like she's like, no, we're not doing that. She disappeared, changed her phone number, blocked me. She's gone. Because we had like this, because now I felt like it was a scam. I felt like it was a scam, and I felt like I was being played, and I got mad, and I was like, yo, like, if you're telling me this is mine, let's go check. And she refused. So I was like, okay, fine. Then she disappeared. A year later, she calls me. She's like, I want you to be in your child's life. I gave birth. She's sick. She's 6 months old. I was like, what the? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, now you could come and do the test. So I literally went and did the test, and it came back, and it came positive, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I did the show like 2 months later. You know, so,
Oh,
so it was 3 months later. Sorry, I did the show 3 months later. So it was fresh. That's why a lot of things were weird. Like, imagine I fly out to Miami, I do a test, blah, blah, blah. I find out I have a 6 month old. I wasn't involved at all. She disappeared. She told me that she wasn't gonna keep it, and she wanted me to pay. And then she didn't let me do the test, and then she disappeared. Now fast forward, I got a kid, and then I'm like, okay. And then now we're working out like, finances, how I'm gonna help out, what I'm gonna do, and all of that. I went to go visit her, and then boom, I'm on TV. So that like that, and then so that's why it seemed weird, and that's why at the time during the show, my brother hadn't met my daughter because it was only like I only knew that I had a daughter 2.5, 3 months prior.
got you.
My daughter was born in September, and actually, no, sorry, not born in September. Yeah, my daughter's born in September, so yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think I covered everything I was confused about. So let me ask you now. We're gonna move into the future now. How does I'm gonna just call it a Mrs. Right? How does the Mrs. feel about the whole show stuff and watching the reunion and all of that? How did that work out for you?
Um, Initially, it was, I told her about everything. I've been very candid with her throughout, and she was a little bit standoffish about it because, like, she was a little standoffish. But then I said, hey, let's watch it together. Hey, and then suddenly she'll hit me up and she'll be like, yo, this person said this about you on this review. And she knows everything that's happening, and and she's my partner, right? So like she got my back and she's trying to protect my brand, and she's trying to like she's here for me. So initially it was hard because you got to remember that, think about it this way, when the photos leaked, like the wedding photos and all of that, because of our contract, we're not supposed to tell people that we're in a relationship or say anything.
Right.
So I didn't post any of my wedding pictures. I didn't post nothing. So now imagine they came out before she posted and before I posted. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So she was vexed. She was like, yo, why is our wedding posters out here? Why are people talking all this? I haven't even posted anything. You haven't posted anything. We had to wait till this show situation blows over, and now all this is out here. So that was like that was
right.
yeah.
How old is she?
Same age as me,
Which
39.
is 39? Okay. Okay. Did you get to pick her, or was she like arranged?
I'm on to, I'm busy. Yeah. She's asking me a question right now. But yeah,
Mm.
it wasn't arranged. It was like I met her through like within the community. You got to remember, like, you can meet somebody through church. I met her through the mosque, that kind of situation. So it
Mhm.
wasn't an arranged marriage, but I met her through the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I've had some Pakistani friends
Yeah.
where they were able to, like, their parents allowed them because they were spending a whole lot of time in America, like from like high school up. So like you can date, but if you don't pick anybody by a certain time, we're gonna pick for you.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I didn't know if that was the same thing for you. Like it was like, all right, now you don't play too much. Come on now, you
I got
know,
I got that vibe from my mom. Obviously, when you get up there in the 30s, you're gonna be
right?
like, yo, what's going on? But it wasn't nothing was uh forced or like set in stone, like you have to do this, right? Like, no, it wasn't like that.
Do you? And now I'm gonna get a little personal, just because I'm intrigued. Is Did you fall in love first before asking for marriage and stuff? And the reason why I say that, right, is because I feel like my brother, we're Christian, right? And I feel like my brother found a woman in the church, and not like we don't have the same restrictions, but he found a woman in the church and it seemed really quick, that he got involved and got married and everything like that. And I felt like it was more because of their belief in God, all of
Right.
that. And then the love came, like they did the standard, they dated and did whatever, whatever. But it was really like, we're going to do this. We both believe the same thing. Let's get married. And then in that, we find love. Was that like that for you?
You know what? One thing I feel is like when you have a bunch of failed relationships, it really tells you, it makes you very decisive, right? So something happens, you're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. These are signs, red flag, red flag, red flag. I want this. So when you see it, you're like, this is what I need. This is what I need. You know what? I've dealt with this. And I'm like, this is what I want. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not gonna take my time. Like, and the other thing is like I've known her for 5 years. Like I've known her for over 5 years. So like, and I've like we were on and off. Like I met her. I was in a relationship when I met her. So like I met
With
her.
with Dom?
No, no, I was in a relationship with somebody else.
Oh,
Like
you mean 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I met
Okay.
her in a relationship. So I met her. I'm like, oh, she's cool, but I'm in a relationship. So like I would see her at the mosque or like at like um ethnic functions, and then that's it. Like we exchanged numbers. I knew her, but that was like I I I was in my relationship. Then I broke up with my ex at the time. I ended up dating somebody else. She was there. We knew each other, but like we didn't really give it that much time. And plus, we lived like 4 hours away, right? And then we tried something. Then then she left. She's from England, so she went, left, then came
Okay.
back. When she came back, I was like, you know what, man, this girl, same religion, same culture, you know.
Oh, so she is African. That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's Nigerian. She's
She's
Nigerian.
Nigerian too. Okay.
So she's
Cause
Nigerian. Go ahead.
I tell you, I look at everything. So when I watched the wedding video, there was a part of it where it looked like she didn't know what she was supposed to do. So I was like, maybe she's African, but just not Nigerian. Because I think it was the part where she had to kneel down to your parents.
Mm.
You see, I watched it, right?
Okay,
Do you
yeah.
remember? Did you see that part? You know that part, right?
What? Yeah, yeah. So there's something called man, I can't remember what the name of the person is called again, but uh, there's kind of like an MC for a Nigerian wedding, and that MC directs everybody what to do and how to do it. And it's like a traditional MC. So like we have MCs for just like master of ceremonies, but there's actually like a I can't remember the title, but there's somebody who actually their role is to coordinate the
Right.
the whole process. So that person was giving her direction, like, hey,
Okay.
do that, do this, do that. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, so I met her. She's same culture, same religion. Um,
So it's a better fit.
yeah, very traditional, very supportive. My mother loves her. My family loves her. My dad loves her. I was like, and it was just a smooth transition. And not only that, but like, like she, like, I'll give you an example. I bought a house. I was trying to flip it. And Okay, actually, you know what? I'll give it. This is actually a perfect example. During the show, I mean, at the end of the show, we already finished the show. Show's done, and I ended up getting an asthma attack. Okay, I was
Mm.
in the hospital for almost 10 days. Yeah, I was in that hospital for 10 days. I had a sinusitis, chronic sinusitis infection. My whole face was full of mucus and polyps. Um, I was having pressure in my head, uh, crazy headaches, um, and like I was having trouble breathing.
Respirator?
I was on a respirator. I was on a respirator for 10 days
Mm.
in the hospital in Toronto. Me and her, we broke up. We weren't talking, right? She heard I was in the hospital. She came to check on me. She was like checking on me. She was like, yo, like, I'm mad at you, but, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So Dom didn't show up one day.
And she heard?
She knew. We talked on the phone, everything. She didn't come.
Oh,
I was in Toronto. I was in Toronto, right? 'Cause
right,
my family's out in Toronto. So it was like 3 hours, but she did not come. I was in the
right,
hospital 10 days. Don didn't show up. So now I'm thinking to myself, you know what I'm saying? That weighed in on some of my decision too, right? So it's like
right,
if your guy is on a respirator and he's having trouble breathing, he's in the hospital for 10 days. I haven't I haven't been sick for like the last time I've been sick was 2017. So we're going on damn near like 9 years. Sorry, 8 years because this was last year. So like almost
right,
8 years, I haven't had any like nothing. So for if you got somebody who's supposed to be your person and they're sick, like you show up. And it's crazy because going back to the not in alignment with the Dom situation was her daughter got sick, right? And I showed up for the daughter. I showed up at the
mm,
daughter's house, went to the hospital, did the whole I was supposed to go to the hospital. She's like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. Come meet me here. My daughter's coming home. So I came to see her daughter. So like, and like I showed up at gatherings, the whole thing. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, it's not even you who's sick. I'm coming to stand for your daughter. And then I'm on a respirator. I can't breathe. I'm having a serious asthma attack. You don't even show up.
right,
Right. And then the person who I wasn't dating at the time, and we were at odds. She still stood for me. She's like, "Yo, I'm mad at you, but I don't want to see you like this, and I just gotta make sure you're all right."
right,
So like that was a really easy way of discerning, like, "Yo, this person's really for me, and this person's just for show." You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
Definitely 100%. So I'm happy for you.
mm,
I think it's better because even myself, like when I try to date Americans, I can't just date the average American. I have to date somebody who has been exposed to different cultures, has a good understanding because after that I'm gonna be explaining everything and trying to teach you everything. So yeah, that's better because I mean I don't know Dom. I haven't talked to her, but I couldn't have seen that really working, especially not after talking to you. Like
yeah,
one thing on the show, and then the fact that you guys did the show together. I'm like, okay, well maybe they on the same thing because you had that whole thing where people chase that whole power couple thing, but
yeah.
it's usually just spending money and showing off and stuff like that. But after talking to you, I'm like,
I don't care for that, man. I'm like, and that's the thing, like I'm not tooting my own horn, but like I would say of the gentleman on the show, I think I was well positioned. I was well positioned financially compared to many of the gentlemen on the show, and I didn't talk. I wasn't going out talking and saying this, I'm that. I was just I was just being me. You know,
right,
I wasn't like that's yeah. I'm not a showboat person. I'm not a showboat person. Um, but yeah,
okay, all right. Well, is there anything that you would like people to know, the group to know? Any final things?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So there's a couple things. So number one, I got a book coming out. It's called The
Oh,
Sovereign Blueprint, and it talks about my rise and fall. I had my rise and fall and my rebuild. It talks about a little bit about the show. It talks about how to create generational wealth through real estate, financial empowerment, um, and it talks about actual real estate development, like how the pitfalls, like things you could do, how you could get in, like how you can buy a side lot in Detroit for $100 and make something of it. How you can get the government to give you, um, uh, how you can get the government to give you land based on your initiatives, different grants, this kind of thing. So like I got that going. There's I'm launching a REIT, a real estate investment trust, and it basically my experience in the development space where I put every dollar I had into this, and I was like, I was pulling it, I was pulling the sled by myself. I was like, you know what? Many hands make light work, right? So for me, I'm like, okay, if I see if I had a superpower in real estate, it's finding opportunity. I'm a big analysis person. I'm very big on finding and optimizing property values and being able to cash flow. Like that's my jam. So for me, I'm like, okay, if my superpower is finding opportunities, I've been doing it for myself, but I'm like, okay, what if I do it for other people and we co-invest and we joint venture? So the real estate investment trust is basically giving people an opportunity to get into real estate, but don't have the full amount to do it, right? So that's where the REIT comes in, and the benefit is that um, you make the returns, you don't have to take on the head-on risk, and you don't have to put up as much as I had to, right? And
Right.
and you're able to you're able to be led and directed and guided, like and you're learning everything without having the same exposure. So that's really cool. And then my brokerage is doing its thing in Detroit. I'm working. I'm slowly building. I got my team, and actually my team are partners in my REIT as well, and that's going out. So basically, what am I doing? Launching a book, launching a REIT, investing in real estate in Detroit, and I want to help people um, to have financial empowerment through real estate. That's my thing. That's my passion, and I've been fortunate. My mother was able to put my sister through a Harvard education, public health
Mhm.
administration. Why? She refinanced her house and she was able to pay for my sister's tuition.
Nice.
Right? She was able. My first 2 years of university, she took care of. And then I said, "Mom, my sister's going to Harvard. You take care of that. I'll take care of me." So I paid my way through my last 3 years of university on my own. But
What did you go to school for real estate?
no, I went to school public. Sorry, I went to school for business commerce, honors
Okay.
honors business commerce at University of Windsor. My sister did public health administration at
Okay.
Harvard. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So um,
I'm gonna tell you, the read thing. I found that kind of late in life. I probably found it maybe like 2000, maybe 2004, 2005 or something. And I joined when it was a woman's thing, right? But a lot of people don't know about it. So I would say like you have to break that down and advertise it, like flood, especially right now, like maybe flood social media with it, but bring it down a level to people to their understanding, you
absolutely,
know?
yeah.
Because a lot of people won't know, they won't, and they're kind of afraid of the risk too. But that is a good way to get into real estate. And just to let you know before I forget, the group is open. So anything that well, not right now, it's not open. I do shut it down between seasons, but you can always send me
Oh, really?
anything.
You should.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Just like how it's so funny, how you were talking about the negative and the affirmations and things of that nature. I don't feel as though we need to be up 24/7 with all negativity. So it's like we talk about it when the show is up, and then after that we shut it down. I opened it I opened it because a guy named Red, he was giving away tickets to a comedy show. He's in Dallas. So DJ Red, he wanted to give away tickets. So I opened it back up to advertise about the tickets. But in between seasons, I shut it down because it's too much negativity. I'm not that type of person. I don't like I told you, I don't do the interviews. I don't want the gossip, things of that nature. I'm just not for it, and I know that there's a certain type of person that watch the reality shows and they want that stuff, but I can't deal for 24/7. And me as the admin, it's constant notifications beating me in my head and I can't take it.
No, I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean? So somebody said the book provides steps to achieving financial empowerment
Yeah, through real estate. Absolutely.
through real estate. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the places quickest ways to get rich. Either that or marry a truck driver child, because truck drivers can make money too if they go cross country. Listen, I could tell you about getting that money.
You know what? And you could do it. You could do it starting really small. Like I'll give you a small scenario. In Detroit, you could buy a house for like 70 grand, 80 grand. Like, and you can even finance that. So let's say it's your first house. You could get right now, you could get an FHA loan. You could put 5% down on that. You could put $3,500 down on a house.
Wait, let me slow you up a little bit, right? What you're saying, all of that is right, right? But here's the thing. You got to remember when you're talking to people, you already know who you're talking to, right? So we don't know the value of a Detroit house. That's one thing, right? And then two, when we hear about Detroit, remember Detroit just a couple years back was like going under, loss of jobs and all type of stuff that was happening. So I think what you're doing is good, but you got to kind of feed it like, hey, Detroit is up and coming. I don't know if it's about to be gentrified or what it's about to be doing or how it's getting taken over or
Rocket Mortgages, they invested like right now in the past 5 years, there's been over $50 billion put into Detroit from corporations, right? Detroit is now becoming gentrified. And outside of that, you also got to look at this. There's a huge, huge, huge renter population in Detroit, right? The largest owner of land in Detroit is the city of Detroit, the land bank. They're the biggest
okay.
landowners in the city of Detroit. And if you buy a property, like, make it simple. If you buy a property not to live in, but as an investment, you want to make money, a return on your investment.
Right.
So, real simple, if you buy a property for 70 grand, okay, and your mortgage is like $700-800, and you're collecting 1,500 to 2,000 a month, that means in your hand, you're getting between $700 and $1,500 a month on a property that you don't even live in. And you could
But
do that. You could do that. You could buy that property with under 5 grand. How? What's 5% of 70 grand? $3,500, right? So you got to come up with $3,500. If this is your first house, if it's your second house, you got to put more. But if it's your first house, you put $3,500 down, boom, you buy the house. Now you're going to need legal fees for closing and whatnot. So another $1,500. So you're 5 grand in. You own the property. It's yours. Now, a mortgage let's say your mortgage is at 5%, right? 5% mortgage on let's just say 70 grand, right? 3,500 divided by 12 months, that's like $300, right? Then you got to pay your property tax. So let's say another $300. So now you're $700 all in.
then are these in good areas in Detroit? Or is this like a heavy crime area? Like we got to think about that stuff too. And for a person who don't know Detroit,
So guess what? That's why you get a realtor who knows the area, who's going to guide you and put you in a property that you ain't got to worry about all that. And that's why you get somebody who's going to do the property management and oversee, collect the rents, and take care of everything for you, right? Where you fall short in knowledge, right? You leverage a professional.
Okay.
Most people don't understand. Most people don't understand the legalities of real estate or legal in general. You hire a lawyer. You got a problem with something's wrong with your body. You go to a doctor. If you want to buy real estate and you want to invest, you get a realtor, right?
Yeah,
So it's
but you know, people like a lot of people don't know, and then when they hear things, all you hear is that it's a buyer's market, it's a seller's market. This real estate person, they just they think that you just want their sale, you just want to put them in the house, and that happened to me. Like I had got a property where it was an investment property, but the people who owned the property, like they did me dirty. Like they paid off the housing inspector and all type of stuff. He was like, "Yeah, the roof is good." You get up there, the roof like 10 years old. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as easy to trust 100%.
yeah,
But
for sure. But you know what? Due diligence. When you do your due diligence, you don't need to trust. So you get an appraiser, right? I'll just give you an example. You get an appraiser, you know that the value is where it's supposed to be. Get an inspector. You find your own inspector.
I did. I
Wow.
did. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I think it was all because of this. So because they were like, "Well, who's the inspector?" And they ended up talking, and yeah, it became a thing. It became a whole dirty thing. But yeah,
That's
but I did find, and I knew that because even the person who I bought the house from was my friend. So it was like I'm giving him the hook. I'm going to see the house all by myself and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. So I knew little things, and I took a little real estate class. It's really boring to me. So even though I'm in it, like I do landlord, but just taking the class, I'm just like, Lord,
that's
you
crazy.
know.
So making it like the way that I look at it is an investment is going to make you more money than you're expending. Period. Full stop. If you're paying more money for the property than you're collecting, it's not an investment, right? You're consuming it, and that's
Right.
likely to be your house. So if you're looking for like right now, if you get a property, if it's in the hood, if it's in the burbs, right? Does it really matter as long as you get collecting the rent and and it's taken care of for the management? I'm telling you, because if
Yes. What?
hold on, let me explain something. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
Don't turn this into a real estate thing now.
Explain something to you real quick.
Yeah.
Number one, you get a property manager, a good property manager. They collect the rent, they take care of everything for you. Now, Section 8, you know that the government pays between 80 and 90% of the rent. So if the rent is 2 grand, 80%, you're getting 1,600 from the government, you got to collect the 400 from them. With the 1,600, you're still up. If it's 90%, you're collecting 18 from the government, and then you got to collect 200 from that person. If you are like savvy investor and you don't want to deal with headaches, you can just tell that person, hey, you know what? That 200, whenever it comes, and you collect that 18. If you're collecting 18 and all your expenses in are 700 or 800 bucks, you're making $1,000 a month,
Right.
right?
Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it got its stuff with it. Cause
Yeah.
there was one time Philadelphia police was looking for me. I'm saying I had this girl, she was Section 8, and she changed the locks on the door and everything. When I finally got in there, I took the doors. I'm like, stop playing. I'm like, I had moving child, like, oh, pack the doors up. We out.
You took the doors off? Oh
I
man,
took, I took,
was it winter
let me,
time?
no, right? It was just like, I don't know what happened in Detroit, but like over here, we got this freaky weather, right?
That's
Where it's like, it
hilarious.
started getting warm. And then right after that, it turned cold. So it was warm, right? And it was like April. So I'm like, you know what? I'm set. Because Philly, like the police don't really get into landlord stuff. It's kind of, they call it civil,
You
right?
took
So I'm like, okay. I took the back door. So there was two back doors to the house. And we call, I don't know what you call them over there, but we call them row houses where the house is connected all together.
yeah.
So but it had two back doors. So I told the lady, I said, listen, Section 8 lady, I said, listen, if you leave out in 30 days, you can take the washer and dryer. right? And she was like, okay, I'm gonna leave out, but she didn't. She changed the locks on the door. So after that, now I'm like, you know what? I gotta come in. I'm like, it was a broken window. I'm like, let me come in, change the window because I don't want the kids to get hurt. I went in, changed the window. I capped the gas. I capped the water because she wasn't paying me nothing. So and I was like, you know what? Because she didn't move out, I'm taking the washer and the dryer. I took the washer, the dryer, and the refrigerator because the refrigerator wasn't on the lease. Because see, that's one thing you don't play with me. I tell them, I warn them. I warn them. I said, listen, don't think because I'm a woman you're gonna take advantage of me. You know what I mean? And I tell them because for real, because you know what too? It's funny because on social media, everybody have me like I talk like I'm talking to you and everything, but I'm really kind of shy and I'm kind of quiet. So if I don't have a reason to talk to you, I'm not talking. I'm an introvert, you know?
Wow.
So I told her, I said, listen, and when I'm signing out, I'm like, listen, please just, you know, don't play, you know, my head sick. Me's a mad gal when it comes to the time. So please don't ramp with me. Just do what you got to do, pay your bill, and we have no problem. You know, she even had her boyfriend move in. I said, I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you're supposed to do. And she changed the lock. She stopped paying the money, all type of stuff. I said, okay. Move out everything. Wash your dry refrigerator and the doors them. Please comment today week.
Lord. Oh
Yo.
my God.
So listen, so I know how it go, you know, but I had to learn the hard way, like bumps. I never had anybody to take me through it, you know. And I think what you're doing is good. I think that you definitely should push it because it's needed, especially in Detroit, from my understanding. You know what I mean? Just bring it down a little bit so regular people that don't have any understanding they can catch on to it. You
Hey,
know?
you already in the advanced. You already in the advanced level. You're capping the gas, capping the water, taking out the doors. The doors is actually it's a gray area. It's a very gray area.
You're
And
not allowed. You're not supposed to take the doors, but because what happened was the temperature was warm. If it had stayed warm, I would have been cool. But because the temperature dropped, boom. So they took my closet doors and put them on the outside doors.
oh my god,
You know, I was Philly
It's-
most wanted for like
you're
two
not the
months.
first person. You're not the first person. I'll say that. I'll say that. Um, I've been there. I've been there. I've been
Yeah,
there.
'cause
I've had to do some stuff.
yeah,
Um,
man. Some people when they don't own it, they But that's not to deter anybody. But at the same time, I did give it off to a property manager after that because I was like, you know what, they're gonna make me go to jail. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to jail. So I was like, you know what? I just gave it. My brother does it, so I just gave it to my brother. I make him deal with it. Cause I'm like, yeah,
okay, so now it's his headache. It's your brother's headache, and is he collecting the rent for you?
yeah.
Is there any problems? You got to cut off any water, nothing, anything like that?
I don't even listen. I don't even remember it. He just do everything. I don't even look at it.
And that is what I'm talking about. See, one of the things is maybe I'm talking fast because I put I was very specific when I said just set it and forget it. Just have a property
Yeah,
manager deal with it. Because that's the thing. If a property manager, they're gonna take 8 to 10%, right? So if they take 8 to 10%, if you pay somebody $150 a month and you don't got to do nothing and you just collect a check, that is that's scalable. Now you buy one, you're like, yo, you know what? This year I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do that. And suddenly if if you commit to you and like let's say you and three friends or you and four friends, you all commit that every year we're gonna buy a house. And we're gonna set aside $500 a month to buy a house. Now, fast forward 5 years, you guys got five properties between you, and you're all collecting 1,500 or 2 G's a month. I'm not gonna say 1,500 or 2 grand a month is gonna retire you, but when you get up into the 20, 30, 40, 50 homes, it gives you
it
the
worked.
it gives you flexibility. And you got to leverage the professionals. Don't try and do it all yourself. If you try to do it yourself, that's where you're gonna get burnt out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, decent. So I ain't gonna hold you up much longer. I
Yeah.
do appreciate you talking to me.
I'm happy I was able to give some clarity to some of the questions that you have.
Yeah, because I was perplexed, but I wasn't going to go looking. I didn't want to. I didn't want to sit through all of the stuff just to get my answers. You know.
I got a question for you. How
Sure.
do you take the doors and the appliances out the house while they're in the house?
Yeah. So the boyfriend was in the kitchen. The girl was up in the shower. I just so happened to look up. She was a Puerto Rican girl. She was in the shower when I had came in. So what happened was, technically on Section 8, if it's not on the lease, I don't have to supply it.
Yeah.
So a refrigerator and a washer and dryer wasn't on the lease. What happened was the washer and dryer belonged to the tenant prior to her, but I told her she could take it with her, if she move out, she hurry up and move out. So she didn't. But what happened was, because I had to do all of that, she was making me angry. So by that time, I'm like, you know what? I already, because I didn't touch anything because I wanted to be very clean for court, right? I didn't touch anything. So I had people come in and they touched it, but I'm just telling them what to do and what to touch. So they took out a washer and dryer, and I said, you know what? Take the fridge too. So that's how come one of the doors had to come off the other door to take the fridge out, because it was like a top door and a bottom door, the basement door.
Ah,
So I'm like, because the door was already off the hinges, I was like, you know what? Take the doors too. I'll deal with the stray cats and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm expecting her to leave out, you know? So I was like, take that too. So they ended up taking the doors, and then I did cap the stuff or whatever. And then I just left out. And I don't live in the city. So I was in the county. So they couldn't find me. You know what I'm saying? And they just was calling and calling. But then she lied on me. And she tried to say that I stole money out of the freezer. But I'm like, how I'm stealing money, but you owe me money? You know what I mean? So, Section 8 got involved or whatever. And they tried to spank my hand, but nothing came out of it because I wasn't wrong. Because, oh, you know what, too? Because she had a boyfriend in the house, living in the house, so that was a defense for me. But then at the same time too, she was trying to steal um furniture from Rent a Center. So when I was there, I let Rent a Center come in and take the couch them and all that stuff. Listen. So then because I did that, I had to go to Rent a Center.
not
I'm like,
easy.
yo,
You're not
I'm like,
easy.
yo, I was like, you gotta write me a letter. Write me a letter, whatever, whatever. So she had a cousin at Rent a Center that hooked her up, and she was stealing the furniture from Rent a Center. So all of that stuff saved me. So when I came, they was like, all right, just return the security deposit that she did pay or whatever. Oh, you wanna know what my security deposit thing look like? You know the blinds where you buy for $5. If you crack on a $25 feet, if you have a little tiny pinhole to pin to the littles where a rice grain could have fit in it, $50 hole inside my wall. Okay, cause nobody can tell me the price of them. I need to sell for my stuff. So guess what? By the time she was leaving, she got back $50 and
Deuces. That because I'm thinking like I've taken a door off when they're not there, but when they're there, I was like, that's interesting. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. But it makes
oh
sense.
wait,
You have to take a door off to take the appliances out because you had already booked to have the appliances taken. Then
but
when you
wait,
yeah,
wait,
good.
let me tell you, police, right? So when it comes, so there's an outside patio and then there's an inside door. So two door they have to come in to talk to her. So they rang the doorbell, front door, she let them in. So she's screaming and stuff. She took the door, she took the doors. And he was like, what you talking about? You just opened the door. She said, no, I locked the door.
In a me. In a me.
Yo, the police then was cracking up. They calling me. They like, yo, Alexis, like, yo, like, we can't get involved, but yo, man, like, I can't believe. I'm like, listen, I'm like, I live very far. I can't come down there right now, but I'm gonna call and see if they can deliver the doors. I ain't call for nothing. I'm just go sit up on my business. Listen,
Okay,
she
how long after that did they pull up? Did they actually leave?
probably a month.
Wow.
It probably took another one, because now what she wanted to do, she wanted me to get in trouble. So now what she did was that she started going through what else something to Section 8. We had to go to court and all of that stuff. But what? She didn't know I was fully loaded. I was fully loaded. That once with that rent center thing, listen, she couldn't tell the judge nothing. You know, you can't because you breaking the law. You can't have a boyfriend in there, and you can't be stealing from Rent Center.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story. You're gonna laugh so hard. Okay.
Oh goodness.
Okay. So I had this tenant one, right? And
Hmm.
this is like, a white kid, and he was just like very privileged, whatever. So his mom was paying his rent. His mom paid his first and last month's rent. First and last and 3 months. Sorry, so she paid first and two last months rent. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, cool. So now I talked to the guy, and I'm like, look, man, your mom paid your first and your last 2 months. I'm like, I don't want to have problems with you. Come in the next 2 months. Like, if there's anything, just let me know ahead of time. I'm cool, whatever. So then fast forward, homeboy is getting into arguments because this was like a student housing. Like, it was 5 bedrooms,
Mm.
5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and like he had other students in there, right? So now,
Oh.
so now he's like, people are saying that he's like, he's making it difficult for them and whatnot. So I tried to talk to him. I talked to him. Then he's like, look, man, I ain't got the money. I was like, okay, no problem. He's like, and I'm leaving out here. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm like, how are you gonna leave? I'm like, you know what? I don't want you to scratch up nothing. How about this? I got a truck. I will rent. I'm like, I'm gonna get you a truck, and I will pay for a hotel for you to move out. 2 days hotel, and I'll pay for your truck, and I have movers because at the time I had a property management company. I was managing. I had like 2,000 units under management, and I have my handyman. So I was like, okay, guys, just help this guy to move because you know how with school, like school starts September 3rd, between the 3rd and the 7th, right? So this
Hmm.
was like the end of August, and I need this guy out so I could get students for the next semester, right? So I already
Right.
had his whole place rented, and I don't want this guy to stay one extra week and then I have the place empty the whole year. So I'm
Hmm.
like, hey man, da, da, da. So this guy's talking, he's talking all this, like he's tough, and he's like, yo, you don't know me, da, 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 da. And I'm like, look, man, I agreed to pay for your truck. I rented a hotel for you. All you have to do is just leave. The furniture is my furniture. Just leave. And then he's like, oh, I have warrants out for my arrest. You don't know who you're dealing with. Da, 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 da. This guy pulled out a freaking needle. And he's like, I have he's like, he said he has tuberculosis, or I can't remember what it was. No, HPV. He had HPV. So he's like, yo, I have tuberculosis or HPV. I can't remember what it was. But he had a needle, and he said that I could stab you with this needle. And I'm pissed. I'm like, yo, I actually rented the hotel, rented the truck. I have the movers here. All you have to do is just open the door and walk out the place, and you have a place to go until your next place. I have the place rented, and this guy's talking. I'm like, okay. And he doesn't know. If you're in property management, I'm dealing with evictions like year round, right? So
Right.
I know the police. There's always domestics, just all this shit. So I call the police. I'm like, hey, this guy's a warrant for his arrest, and he threatened to stab me
With
with.
a needle.
They're like, okay, cool. So I told him, I'm like, buddy, you need to leave today, and if you don't leave today, you're not gonna like what's gonna happen. And he's like,
Right.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I'm like, okay. So then officers came in riot gear because because
The needle.
because the needle. And when they found out his name, because keep in mind, obviously, property manager, I had property management company. I have his full legal name, so I gave it to them, and they see that there was a warrant for his arrest. They came in riot gear and scooped him out the same day. I didn't have to do landlord tenant. I didn't have to do nada. And the reason that I was able to get his ass out was because he was running his mouth.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a warrant for his arrest. I didn't know all that. He said
Right.
all that, and he tried to be tough. And for me, when he tried to stab me with that needle, I was ready for him. But I had to think, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want over rent for me to have to take an assault charge, and
Hmm.
and then if I fight, the moment I fight him, he's gonna stay there, and I'm gonna lose out on the rent for the whole year. And
Squatters. Hmm.
also I'm gonna impact like my rapport with all the other tenants because there's four other tenants. So when I pull up there with with the police and riot gear, this man was like, they're like, this guy looked like he saw a ghost, and he tried to argue with the police, and say, and
Mhm.
they're like, you
No,
know,
sir.
no,
Why you didn't just call his mama?
oh, I did,
Oh,
but the thing is, imagine his mom was on her last straw with him. She was on her last straw with him, and that's the thing. The thing that was so ironic is his lease was only a 4 month lease, and his mom paid 3 months. He just had to pay one.
shame.
And he was at for and he was wanted for the next for he wanted to stay for the next year. And I'm like, bro, if you can't pay 1 month,
1 month.
I don't want to deal with you for next year. I asked him before I paid for the hotel and for the truck. I asked him, I'm like, bro, I'm signing a lease with somebody and you got to be out. So like before I pay for your truck and your hotel, can you please confirm that you're good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And then when I showed up with the movers and everything, he was like, F you. And I'm like, okay.
It probably was the place he was going to move to. They probably told him no. They probably changed their mind. Like, no, he burned that bridge. But how much was his rent?
It was only like 650. We
Because
got
I did it.
yeah.
That same property I was telling you about, I ended up doing that, like splitting it. We call it rooms though, and I didn't do it for students. I didn't even think about students. Well, there's no college near there. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But I ended up splitting it in rooms and stuff. But that was a headache too.
Yeah. But I was collecting like 3250 for all 5 rooms.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
that was cool.
it's a 650 from him. So I was just like, I don't know. Like, but that was hilarious. Like that was when karma hit the fan for this guy. I didn't think like when the police said they were coming,
Hmm.
I didn't know they were gonna come in riot gear.
Right there, yeah. That needle alone. Like what? Oh, you crazy?
And you know why he did that is because I'm like, I'm 6'2", 250. So this guy, and he was like a little scrawny white kid. So he tried to scare me with the needle situation. And for me,
Hmm.
like I definitely could have took him out forcefully, but I was like, you know what? I don't
Yeah,
think this. I don't think this one.
you gotta think about the other tenants. Yeah, trust me. Listen, I feel like that when I'm in the group. Tell you a secret. Like when I sometimes, sometimes you got some castmates that go off or whatever, and I be wanting to argue and cuss their ass out so bad, but then I'm like, damn, if I do this, then all the other cast members gonna think this, and this is that and the other side. Like, shh, I just gotta eat that shit. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
all right. So I know how you feel, especially with students. I never thought about that though. That's a good lick. That's a good look with the students. And for real, it's funny because you would think that you wouldn't have a lot of problem with students, but you know, maybe he's a hopeless case.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another lick, and it's gonna blow your mind. Assisted living.
I heard about that. I looked into that.
Assisted living.
So, are you renting the property to the people, or you have your own property?
Are you talking about? Okay. So the way I do it is I buy the
Mhm.
property and then I rent it to the people, and then the government pays a portion of it.
Oh, pays their rent.
Yes, a
Yeah,
portion.
yeah, yeah. Okay. You know what? Okay. So that's not assisted living here. That's called group home.
Okay.
So yeah, I did look into that. I
Okay.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you have to provide meals, and you got to provide so you have to provide care workers. But the thing is, this is when you're doing bigger units. It's not like 1 or 2 units. You're doing like 15, 20, 30, 40 units. But it makes
Right.
the number like rent that you would collect normally like 1,200 rent you would normally collect 1,200, you'd be getting for assisted living like 23.
I know it. I looked at it. I looked at it. See, and that's the thing that I don't even understand when it comes down to Dom. I'm like, yo, you had all of that in your possession and you fucked it up because you wanted some dinners or some shit. Like you were like, what? Like, what? Like that's like what? Even if she walked away with a start or the knowledge of something, like what?
You
Because
know,
A lot of what you're saying, because I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of what you said, like so the rooms and the group home and stuff I found later. But as far as like my properties and stuff, my kid's father bought those, you know? And I had to do trial and error, had to figure it out and stuff like that. But she had you and you got all of that knowledge right there. Shit. She should have been a sister wife. Like y'all Muslim, you can have more than one because baby, I'm not finna leave right here until I at least get my duplex or triplex or
And
something.
that's, you know what the craziest part is? Even with her, she was trying to do the fly closet. She was trying to basically rent her used clothes to other people. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it's a thing. But anyway, she was trying to do that, and I was like, "Yo, I'll help you to find a place. I'll help you. I'll help you to find a place." I helped her to write the business plan. I helped her. I sat down with one of her friends, and we actually, like, literally, I can even send it to you. I literally put together like a full business plan, competitive market analysis, areas, locked it down. I started looking and sending her places, and then it just fizzled out. And I'm like, look, like, I'm not trying to pitch you on your dream. Like, you want to do this? I wrote the plan. I'm sending
Right.
properties. And she wasn't. She was just trying to chill.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, if a person isn't ready, there is nothing you could do to make them get ready. And you would think, but see, that's the crazy thing with her though, because it's like you already had a taste of certain lifestyle. You know the lifestyle that you want. So therefore, when you recognize it, even though it probably hers kind of came with some toxicity or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
but when you recognize it, you should know to that's oh what like that's a gem right now in this environment. You know what I'm saying? In this this 2026 financial play, like you don't see that too often, and you right there wide open, like what?
You know what? And that's the thing. There's a difference between when you build it and when you receive it. That's the big difference. Because when you build it, you learn, you end up having to take off doors. You end up having to kick people out. You understand it. But when you're not involved in any of that, and somebody's just feeding you, taking care of you, because you gotta remember, she 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 had her first child at 16.
Me too.
Right? She had her first
Mhm.
child at 16, and her husband was a basketball player, so he took care of everything. And
Me
then
too.
and oh, yeah, for real?
Yes, I was a kept woman. I didn't do anything but raise my children. I
Wow.
got two girls. One got her master's in psychology, and the other one got her bachelor's in advertising. Yes, I stayed home and raised my children. He did everything,
Right? So he
everything.
so now for her to flip and be hungry, she's hungry for the lifestyle, but she's not hungry to create it. She's hungry to receive it. And that's the difference. That's the difference. See, when I talk to you, you're like, oh, I tried this. Hey, I did this. Hey, I got my bro involved in this. I did like you're you're striving to do what you're trying to do. But I feel like
It was still men. It was still like I was still because when you on a certain level, your people are different. So I'm still running into people that's teaching me things. You know what I mean? Like I would have ex ballers and stuff like that. They teaching me stuff. I see them doing business. They retired. They
yeah,
doing business now. They buying properties and certain things like that. So these are the people. These are the conversations that you have. And so if she have I don't even understand because if she's supposed to have a conversation with the brother seemed like he was connected, so her mindset should have shifted. And don't
this
get me wrong, like I understand wanting to that so-called basketball wife, but you could have continued doing whatever you was doing on the outside, but then dealing with you different on another level on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But I damn sure wouldn't have been spending that money in dinners and stuff. I ain't gonna lie. But that's just me. I've never been a materialistic person. Like I like nice cars and I like my houses. You know what I mean? But I guess I had to learn it because I like back in the day, like Philly girls was sleeping with guys for sneakers. No, we ain't doing that. We doing titles and deeds, stocks and bonds.
hey,
You know what I mean?
it's happening in Detroit too.
Oh, okay. But you gotta like and that's the thing. Like I'm not. knocking her hustle, but she was just stupid at it. And then with her being stupid at it, then she got people following her. Like it looked like Ashley trying to come. Yeah, I think her name Ashley. I think like Ashley trying to come up on that too. Like I heard some stuff that she said about Darius or whatever. It was like y'all so stupid. You don't even know because there ain't no way, ain't no way. She should have been the flower girl at your wedding. Like what? Like nah, we not doing that. Like what? You gotta give me some. You gotta leave me a little better off than what you came here with. Like what you gonna say? Oh, he stabbed me. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. I gotta get some. Like what? Dang, I don't know. But
No,
that's just me. I don't know. You live and you learn.
yeah,
So,
100%, 100%.
but and then the crazy, and I keep saying I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna tell you this real quick, right? It's so funny because when most women hear African, they automatically think coming to America is the prince. You understand? And they want that shit, but then they don't even know how to get from point A to point Z with it. And I'm like, are you stupid? Like, what? Dinner? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Even like Ina. Oh, matter of fact, let me ask you about that. Why did you give that girl money for a massage?
You know what? I'll tell you something. Two reasons. Number one, because I can't be on a show and I can't be on a show and somebody asked me to do a massage and I'm like, no, I ain't got it like that, or no. Like at the end of the day, I was feeling her. She was a good looking girl. I liked her vibe. We talked a lot. We actually vibe. Like we talked on the phone for hours. She's very family oriented. I'm like, okay, it's cool. Whatever. I got it. I got it. No problem. But something that didn't show up in the edit was she actually got into a car accident.
Oh,
So it's kind of funny. She asked me for the massage before she got into the car accident, and then
mm,
like literally. So let's say she asked me for it in the morning. I was filming the whole day, and then I responded in the evening, and then that evening she got into a car accident. And then when I heard about the car accident the following morning, I'm like, I sent it off because I'm like, yo, like she got into a car accident. She totaled her car, like completely total. So I'm
okay.
like, like if I'm feeling you and you're going through some shit and you're just like, hey, and it wasn't like she's like, hey, I really need it now that I got into the car accident. I just put it two and two together. She hit me during the day. I was filming. We can't have our phones on us. I didn't respond because she's like, I would love to go for a massage this morning. And then I didn't get the message till like 4 or 5. And then she was like, and then the following day, I saw her at Dominic's house, and she's like, "Yo, you didn't respond to my thing." I'm like, "Well, you said in the morning, and it was the evening." And I was just like, and we still talked about other things. So like, she sent me a message, and then she sent me another message about something else, and I responded to something else. So she's like, "But you didn't respond to that." I'm like, "My bad," and I took care of it, right? But it, it was mainly because like number one, she got into that car accident. That's
Well,
serious.
that's good. That's respectable, and I can understand that. So, and then I understand it was a small thing for you. It just left a bad taste in my mouth that she asked, and it really was bad because I know girls is out here asking for stuff, but I think it's really bad that she asked being on a show.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
that's the You know what? That I think what she did that wasn't that did that like didn't like shine her in a good light was that she asked on the show and she said
Ask
she asked
everybody.
other people. Yeah, that was like, I was like,
It was
that
given
yeah.
thirsty. It was given gold digger. All of that stuff.
See,
It was given like
it's 9 times out of 10, a woman wants you to just know and do, right? And when a woman does ask you, it that's like that's a lot, right? When they ask. So like if they ask you and you're feeling the girl, you want to try and you want to reciprocate and try and meet them where they're at. But I feel like the big thing was that made me feel uncomfortable was Dominique just cooked the oxtail, right? Dominique's in the other room and I'm at Dominique's house, and she's asking me about a massage for her, and I was like, I felt like I was in a pressure cooker situation because, like It's just I know we're in the process and we're all dating, we're all doing the thing, but it was just I felt like I was disrespect at somebody's house, at Dom's house, talking to another lady about doing something I haven't done for Dom. So I was like, ooh, you
Well,
know,
these things is all you don't got to worry about it anymore. But these is things all tells when you dealing with different people. These things I don't understand. People don't look at these things. And I know some things like they make it seem like it's the norm now, whatever. That's disrespectful. The fact that she even brought it up, the fact that she asked a lot of people, the fact that she even asked, you know what I mean? But then on top of it, when she got on the stage, she was like, if my man was hurting and he wanted a massage, I would give him a massage. She never said buy a massage. She never said pay for a massage. She said I would give him a massage. So they should have give you a massage. You know what I mean? Like, come on, sis. Yeah, you're not fooling anybody, but I just wanted to see because I was like, why the hell? And I knew to me, I felt like it was more of a thing like, you're not going to play me because I know they try to play you like, oh, he couldn't even afford it and da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to play me. So here, you want $300 for my side instead of $300 a year. You know what I mean? But
honestly, that's what it was because I was thinking to myself, like, brand. Think about it, like if I'm holding out on something little like that, it's like, okay, he ain't got it, right? And if I'm pushing my real estate, the REIT, and I'm talking about financial empowerment. If I can't take care of a massage for a girl that I'm seeing, and what is that?
no, because you know why it wouldn't have looked no way because you was already doing stuff with Dom. So once you hear about all the dinners and all that stuff that you had to buy with Dom, then yeah, I can understand. You ain't had to pay for a massage. I mean, you did it and it's good, especially because I didn't know about the car accident. So okay, you know what I mean. And she's lucky she buck up to somebody as nice as you because trust me, I don't like it. It just irritates me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and again, don't get me wrong. As I told you, I was a kept female. My baby father did everything. You know what I mean? But there's still a way to go about it. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're not using a person. It's a give and take at the same time. But you don't turn around and just ask. Like what? Nobody's obligated to pay you for nothing. And then on top of it, it wasn't just you. She has everybody. So then now it's like that's how she trying to play this. Like no, and it was disrespectful for the show. You
Yeah,
know.
and then she left very quickly after that. Really quickly after
She
that.
shoulda. She shoulda. Nobody shoulda paid for that shit. Go, you know what I'm saying? You better go find a dollar massage on a boardwalk or something,
Uh,
playing games, and guarantee she ain't use that shit for no massage either.
no,
So,
I paid the place. I put my card on file and I paid for that spot. Like I paid for her
mm.
time. I didn't send her a cash app. I actually did it.
Oh, that's good because I know Devin money probably went to her hair or something, but that's not none of my business.
Man, the show is crazy. Like there's certain things that you don't know what's going on until you actually like when we're watching the show, like we're watching it at the same time you are. We were in it, but we're watching at the same time. So some stuff that happened with Devin, I was like, oh word? Oh word, that happened like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand it, and I'm gonna tell you, she will go down in history because, as far as I know, she's the first woman that ever asked for anybody anything during the show.
Wow.
What I do after the show was different, but during the show, she's the first person that ever did that and asked everybody at that. It wasn't even like one special somebody. Yeah, she was wild for that. But whatever.
Yeah, I think it was the delivery, right? Like I feel like if she did it and she did it under closed doors, like if she was talking to three dudes, which you're supposed to talk to more than one person on the show, and she was doing that, and she asked them separately, and then whatever, that's whatever. You just play, you playing the field. But
Take
to
it to your
say
grave.
that you did it, to say you did it, that's where she's wrong.
Yeah, because she was trying to shame people. But see, she's silly too because she's supposed to have her brand, and that right there should make her look very awful.
That's
You
the thing.
know?
I don't think she was thinking about the brand. I think she was just thinking about the
Yeah,
process.
playing a guy. That's all it is. It turned into where it's like men against women. Like I'm gonna play him. I'm gonna make him look stupid. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That shit is like I don't know. But that's a whole nother conversation. I ain't gonna keep you.
You know what? This is the thing. This is one of the things that I feel. I actually had this conversation with Darius. Is like you get an opportunity to be on a platform. Okay, you're on Oprah Winfrey Network. You got eyeballs all over watching the show. And what do you do with the opportunity? What do you do with that moment? You want to propel and talk about what you're doing right now, and use it as a catapult for that, or you want to talk about like stupid drama. Like, one thing that I was telling Christina, I was like, look, I'm like, girl, stop talking about these massages. I'm like, you're defending, you're saying this, that, talk about your album. She got an album coming out. She's a singer. I'm like, talk about your album. Hell,
Yeah, but you know what?
hell, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I was pushing it. I was like, yo, talk about your album. You got an album called Darling coming out, country album. Talk about that. Sing about your album. Like, freaking show people this. Do all that. Like, talk about that. Forget about
Right. And that goes to show you business minded. I don't know if they would have allowed her to. I'm not
no
sure. But
recap. She
she
has her own recap show. Why is she talking
oh
about her own recap?
uh I don't know. Probably she trying to save face, but I don't know. I didn't watch it because she do irritate me. I ain't gonna lie. After that, it was just like I don't even want to see nothing. For real, like I hate stupid. And that just was just stupid. It was just like I just couldn't even believe it. So I'm just like, and when you in that thing when she did like when she did that thing with Vince, like, they be getting whatever. I don't know what that little dance wiggle thing was. And I was just like, girl, And the funny thing about it is, right, is that she actually thinks she's Dom, right? Because if you go on the scale, like, that's what Christina thinks she's Dom, you know? Whether she wants to admit it or not, that's what she thinks. But something, somehow, some way is not the same thing.
You know,
I think,
I
but
I, I disagree. I
yeah,
disagree. You know what? And this is
yeah,
like, I've never said this, but a lot of people, uh, my ex, my ex Tara said it. A whole bunch of people. A lot of people feel that, like, in terms of looks and aesthetic, a lot of people felt like Christina was one of the most attractive women on the show, but she didn't know it.
exactly.
I feel like I don't feel like Christina was like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I feel like she didn't know she was this and that, and she was downplaying herself. She wasn't propping herself up. She was like, she wasn't propping herself up and holding herself to a certain standard. She was just she was just like free flowing it,
I'm
right?
gonna tell you, she thought she was dumb, right? I'm gonna tell you, right? When you sit down and you analyze, like when you sit down and you look at people's personalities and stuff, like if Christina had presented herself more like Lauren, like the Lauren that we saw, because I know you guys had a different Lauren in the background, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? But the Lauren that we saw, because she came in like she was like
polished.
politically correct, yeah, right? If Christina had carried herself like that, she would be much further in life, and somebody
Oh,
would invest in her. You
oh,
understand? But she don't have that because in her mind she want that basketball wife mentality. She have a hood mentality. She want that basketball wife mentality, and she thinks she's dumb. You understand? Even we're because let's be honest, in that type of thing, when you hear about it, especially people watch those shows because it went all through the group. Oh, she was on Basketball Wives and this and that. So it does put you at a certain, you think you whatever, and you got whatever, whatever, and then how she presented. You know what I mean? So because of that, she would think she deserves that. The only thing is that she still don't even have the, I'm gonna use the word, a posture where Dom have with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain way that you carry yourself,
yeah.
that you move a certain way. So then even when the guys that do have it, they see you, they will want to make an investment in you because of the way that you move. But she moves so creepy. You know what I mean? Like, I need an like it's like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she got Chinese hair in or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though she got the look, she got it. But she just, I agree, she don't know that she got it, and it wasn't maybe nurtured, or maybe it was abused or something happened where sis is just, I don't know, and she don't even care, because even when it does come down to her show where she had control of it, you didn't see none of that. And with me, like, I go through people's pages, right? And I grab things and I put it in a group for content. And she had this awesome video where she was singing, right? And I put it in the group. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why wouldn't you leave with that person?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Honestly, I feel like you know, I feel like people, anyways, I feel like Christina is like a very raw person. She's a raw. She's talented. She's raw. She's family oriented. She's a cool person. I just feel like that she the polish the polish it the polish wasn't there, and I feel like she wasn't able to project the best image on the show. But I feel like when I talk to her one to one, she's a cool person, man. She's a cool person. I like she was one of my top. She was one of my top before she got left off. Honestly, it was like Christina and Dom, and then it became Lauren and Dom.
I don't know how Christina even got into that match, to be honest with you, because I couldn't even see you walking around with Christina, because to me, I think she would be an embarrassment. Like, like when you go out to certain parties and you have to have a certain kind of understand. I think she would have been like, it would have, like, that whole way she talked to Vince, I could see that would have came out at one of your dinner parties or whatever. You would have been embarrassed like shit. You understand? You probably would have been started losing investors. Like, these is the things. See, people don't think about these things, right? Like, you want a man with money, but you don't even think about the things that you have to do in order to keep that money flowing, to keep his business growing. You know what I'm saying? You got a politic and stuff like that. And no, you what? Like, I don't even know. But don't let me get started, because some of them don't even know how to eat with a knife and fork. So don't listen, okay?
Okay, okay. So I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, and this is going back to like evenly yoked. My wife, born and raised in England, she actually did etiquette classes. Like literally. So when you talk about eating with a knife fork, like she actually was trained properly
Right.
how
In
to.
England, and that's the real etiquette right there. You know what I mean? But yes, that's what you should do. And even if Dom didn't have it when she had her kids, that's where they should have went. You know what I'm saying? They should have had some sort of etiquette class. So because you raising them up under that umbrella now, so now they got to be able to politic like what's her name, Lori Harvey. She's
Yeah.
scandalous, but she trained. She trained like I don't know what.
Yeah.
Kam- Kamora Lee, she was trained. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things you got to do too. It's not all just about the money and the cars and the this and the that. You got to make sure that stay in your bloodline. Now you done got it in. What? Listen.
You gotta keep it in the bloodline. That's the thing. One of the things a lot of people don't think about is they think about just now and themselves. The moment that you start thinking about your the moment you start thinking about your legacy and future generations, you move different.
Right.
And if you could feed a community, you ain't got to worry about eating. If you're able to establish roots for two generations, you ain't got to worry about taking care of food on the table or any of those things. When it,
Right.
so the more depth the goal has, the more solid your foundation becomes just by matter of how you think. And I think that is like, just like you said with the Lori Harvey, is like, and you were talking about Nam with the etiquette classes, is you got to make sure that you prepare your next of kin.
Yeah. And then even to say, okay, you're gonna get a Nigerian businessman, right? What that you supposed to think about what that's gonna look like. How you gonna train his kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, even raise, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that people just don't even look into. Like, I don't know. Maybe I look too deep. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, that's just something a lot of people miss the mark
You
on.
know what? I rate you. I rate you. I think you're mad cool. You're mad.
Thank you. I'm very knowledgeable.
Most definitely.
I read. My background, I do have, I did take, a relationship course, like a relationship coach, date coach. I did all of that, but my background is psychology. I was going for behavior analysis. I didn't finish, but I started it and I got enough to know, so I read people pretty well, and, I could dig down. But then at the same time, I do have that street stuff, because my baby father, you know, even though it's the same money, it was drug money. You know what I mean? but it's still we still gotta move the same and still gotta pick up certain things. So I took that and I took my kids to the suburbs and
Baller. I thought he was a baller, like basketball. Okay. When you said baller, I thought you meant basketball player. I didn't know you meant.
no, I dated ballers. So after him, I dated like some American ballers. They were retired, but they were ballers. So no, he was a hustler,
Okay.
a big time though, no corner stuff or nothing like that. So he brought all my stuff, but then, once I'm at that level now, the guys now, when I start dating legit people, those are the people that I'm coming across.
Okay.
So I learned from them too, because remember, like, my baby father Jamaican, I'm Jamaican, so we still got to learn, we still learning the ways and stuff like that. So when you start dating different race and culture and so forth, you start learning different things, so
Okay.
yeah, so different people, and that's what I think relationships is about too. You supposed to can learn something for somebody. Everybody don't have everything. So you got a piece, I got a piece. We put that together and we a whole. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Supposed to be like that, but
Or two holes make synergy,
yeah,
right? Two holes
yeah.
make synergy. Because I'll tell you this right now. The way that you move on your own versus the way that you move with somebody else that's hungry,
Mm,
you just get that little extra. You get that little extra.
mm-hmm. And
I
I
like.
did.
I want one plus one to make three or five. I don't. I don't
Yeah,
want. I don't want two halves to make one. One is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I say that because when you're an immigrant, you know what I mean, and you don't really know how what's working and stuff like that, you got to learn.
Yeah.
So me, I had the family life because the family life that I came from, but then he was the hustle, the business, the money. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
even though it's not quote unquote not legit, but it's still a business.
I
You
get
know
it.
what I mean? And we still got to learn how to
Yeah.
run it and multiply it, and you know what I mean. And we had our ups and downs and all that type stuff. So it was a thing. So at the time, it was that made the whole. So our children are a whole. You know what I mean? Because now we know, and now it's like you pass it down. It's like okay, book, 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 book. But that's all from learning everything. So now if I meet somebody, I'm solid and now he's solid. Now we could do the synergy and all that good stuff. But yeah, we started off at halves. I ain't gonna lie, and I was a child. I got pregnant at 15, baby by 16. So you
Wow.
know,
And you got two.
I got 2. Yeah.
Blessings.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, man. I feel like we should do this again at some point.
Listen, when the group really open up,
Be on- I don't know if it's gonna be about RTL, maybe some updates, but yeah, man, it was a pleasure talking with you. Uh,
whenever my
I,
door is,
I didn't know what to expect because your group, they tear into people, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But
I know.
I'm presently, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy I did this. Yeah.
Thank you. Me too. Me too. And I know, the group does put pressure on me. Like it gives me enemies that I didn't even warrant. And I think if people talk to me, they realize it. But it comes with the territory, so I got to eat it. Because it still did open doors for me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like as far as like my following and content and getting on my show,
Yeah.
all of that stemmed from the whole Ready to Love thing. And it gave me a different thing. I mean, I'm not really fond of the whole reality TV circus,
Mhm.
but some of it I like it. Some of it is cool. And I did get the bug. Like I'll go on another show. I was just telling the people when I was waiting for you, there's a new show out called Age of Attraction on Netflix, and I want to go on that show because I'm kind of like in my cougar stage right now. I'm not a cougar, I'm a lion, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't know, so it do it different, but it's the same concept. So even the guy that I went on my show with was 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah, so because of that, I'm like, so when the show came, I'm like, what they doing? Asian stuff, baby. So I'm gonna see if I can apply for season 2. And they shot in Canada.
What?
Check it out on Netflix. Yeah, they shot in Canada.
You know what's actually interesting? Something I was actually excited about was you heard that the merger with WB, right? How WB got sold to Netflix.
Um, did I hear that? I didn't hear about WB.
Yeah.
But
So
they got sold.
Warner Brothers got sold to Netflix, and then something happened, and somebody else came in and tried to bid and buy it. But anyways, long story short, um, the own network is under Warner Brothers.
Is it?
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I think RTL is gonna end up on Netflix.
Somebody else said, you know what? I do this podcast on Tuesdays with some of the cast members with a guy named Tyrone, Paul, and Fernando. And he said the same thing. He was like, he don't know if it's gonna go on again. Maybe Chicago might go somewhere else. I think he had a little background information and didn't want to say it, but he teased at it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that'd be something.
So what's this new show you're talking about? It's called what?
Age of Attraction.
Age of Attraction. Okay. Let me check it
Yeah,
out.
and it just came out last Wednesday. I started a group for that, because I'm like, I want to be all up in the mix because I'm definitely going to try for season two. But it was cool. I got some white people in it, and that's different for me.
Where,
But I was like, you know what? Huh?
where is it? Okay, so it was shot in Canada,
In
but
Canada.
where's season two supposed to be at? Philly?
I, I don't know. No, it's probably in Canada too. It looked like they took people from all over the world and sent them to Canada at
Wow.
a retreat in Canada. Yeah. And I don't know if it's something like I don't know if the restrictions for Canada, because there was another show that I had done before called the Love Experiment. I did a group for that too, and that was shot in Canada too. So I'm like, I don't understand. I don't know if the production company got something to do. You would know better than me. So when you see it, you check it out. You let me know.
Okay.
When you look into it, because you would know maybe if the production company is from Canada or the person who doing it, whatever the case may be, something going on. You
Okay.
know. And then if you want something for a relationship show to watch, they got something called Blue Therapy. It's a whole mess.
I
It's
heard
shot in England.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's a mess. But because you said your girlfriend was from, I mean, your wife was from over there.
Yeah.
I think it's shot in London or something. They have those accents, but to me, I thought they were African. I thought the people were African, but they have the England accent. So I don't know.
So like
But
Top Boy, basically like Top Boy. They sound like Top Boy.
I'm not sure what it is, but it
Have
was
you watched
interesting.
Top Boy? Please tell me you watched Top Boy.
No, what's Topwood?
Oh my god.
What
It's
is it?
oh my god. So it's basically like a Get Rich or Die Trying London version. So Top Boy is about a bunch of hustlers that
Oh,
are
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Top Boy.
yeah,
Okay, I thought you were saying something. I thought you were saying Top Wood. Okay, Top Boy. Yes, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. I watched that. You know what? There's actually one of the little guys in there. The one, like the one who had the little brother was taking care of his little brother. I love that boy. I got a crush on that guy.
oh yeah.
That I forgot his name now, but that like yeah, he dark skinned. I like dark skin. He's dark skinned, but he was the main character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the blue jacket. With the blue jacket.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I did like that show, but yeah, that was cool. So yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, the people were coming like that. Yeah, so check those two things out and hit me up. But I
So
wanted to tell you,
yeah,
my DM is always open. Anything that you want to share, post, put in a group or whatever is there for that. You know what I mean? Like, cause I sometimes if I find it, I will put it in a group. But if you want to share it too, once the wall is open or whatever, if you send me a DM, if something I got to go up right away or whatever, I will definitely do that too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
When the book drops, I'm gonna send that. I'll send
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Most definitely.
definitely. Okay.
All right.
So anything else for the people?
No, I'm good. I'm good. But if you guys want to find me at Boss Bello on Instagram or Tosin Bello on Facebook. That's it.
Okay. All right. So
All
we'll definitely connect in a few.
all right.
I appreciate you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Have a
Thank you.
good night.
You too. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Respect. All right. Bye bye.